The Scarborough Lady Wildcats are trying to finish with a perfect 15-0 record, and standing in the way are the Clark-Shaw Lady Eagles, who are trying to avenge 2 earlier losses this season and make the 3rd time their charm. Welcome to a special edition of Tuesday Night Hoops. I'm Corey LeBounty, joined by Bishop State Community College head men's coach and athletic director Trent Eager. Coach, we're looking forward to a great large division championship game, and we are already underway here in day number 2 of the Mobile County Public School System large and small division championship game.
Yes, we're excited to see some good basketball play here today, as we did yesterday.
Already 2 points on the board for Scarborough. The Lady Eagles, coached by China Powell in her 7th season, and KJ Clark on the other hand, head coach Michelle Lofton and her assistant coach Daryl Brooks in his 12th season at Clark-Shaw. The 2 teams met earlier this season. As I mentioned in the intro, Clark-Shaw were defeated 33-20 and 34-29, and assistant coach Daryl Brooks feels a lot better about this matchup here. He normally loves to press, coach, but to stay out of foul trouble, something we saw yesterday, he's going to play half-court defense.
Yeah, coach has said he doesn't have that deep of a bench, so he's going to try to play the game a little slower and keep his kids on the floor.
Clark-Shaw comes out in their 2-3 zone, a little give and go for Scarborough out of the 2-3 zone, and their best player takes the first shot, Chloe Hickenbottom, the 7th grader. Her shot is no good, rebounded by the Eagles, taken down the floor now. A lot of pressure is going to be applied by Clark-Shaw, make or miss. And China Powell, the head coach of Scarborough, no stranger to you, coach, as she helps out at Bishop State Community College.
She is not. She's been our bookkeeper for over 9 years. She was there before I got there, so we have a great relationship, great lady, and she's a phenomenal coach.
Does an outstanding job, and her 7th grader takes a jump shot that is no good. Chloe Hickenbottom and Clark pushing the ball down the floor now against this man-to-man defense, and that's one of the things you have to keep an eye on. Yesterday we saw some of the star players, as you take a look there at head coach China Powell, get into foul trouble, coach, so that's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, foul trouble does make a big difference. When you don't have your key players on the floor, it changes the dynamics of how you get to coach.
Mariasia Robinson trying to inbound the basketball, and there's going to be another tie-up. And you saw a lot of jump balls yesterday. We'll continue to probably see a lot of those today. The possession arrow does favor Scarborough. And the Knights, Lady Knights, taking their time surveying the floor as their point guard, Chloe Hickenbottom, attacks this 2-3 zone. And a right wing three-pointer, no good, coach. We take a look here at our starters for both squads. Clark-Shaw Lady Eagles, Mariasia Robinson, Allison Smith, Erin Vines, Ayana Seals, and Kenya Johnson for Clark-Shaw. And for Scarborough, Terriana Rouser, Chloe Hickenbottom, Dralicia Bailey, Kaylee Britton, and Kaden Morris are our starters. And 2 more points there for Scarborough, Chloe Hickenbottom. And here comes that full court pressure that Coach Powell loves to apply. Just have to do so without fouling. A nice running floater up and no good by Erin Vines. Good look and great way to break the press.
Right, that was a really good look. They broke the press and got what they wanted. That's just same as yesterday. You just got to come up with the finish.
And once again, the point guard, Chloe Hickenbottom, a 7th grader for China Powell, averages about 13 points per game. This jumping 2-3, she handles it, gets penetration, and there will be a foul called. Our officials for this afternoon's girls large division championship, Jerry Lowe and Clarence Jose on the call. As you see Mr. Jose there, his partner Jerry Lowe on the baseline, and it will be baseline out of bounds for Scarborough. A steal by Clark-Shaw in transition, and that's going to be a reaching foul called against Scarborough. And that's going to be on Dralicia Bailey, her first. The 5'2", 8th grader commits that foul, and she's injured on the play as well. A little slow to get up as her head coach attends to her. Took a hard fall there trying to play defense.
She did. I'm just hoping that they just had a little bump that just got her off track, maybe in a knee or something.
3:46 remaining, 4-0 our score. We'll take a quick break here on the MCPSS Television Network and be right back.
A teacher is one of the biggest investors in a community.
They impact the lives of those we value the most.
Teachers share knowledge which helps shape and mold our future leaders.
Teachers show direction and help build a sense of purpose.
Are you ready to make a change? For more information on teaching opportunities, teacher incentives, or to apply with the Mobile County Public Schools, log on to www.mcpss.com.
Back to action here at Mattie T. Blunt High School, and it will be Clark Shaw's basketball right around midcourt as you see the trainers over on the far sideline attending to Dralicia Bailey. Trying to get that basketball in bounds is the hardest thing to do, Coach, and Robinson able to do that and swing it back to the top. And you're in a situation where there's going to be a traveling call against the Eagles. Good idea, the way to attack this defense.
Yeah, you've got to actually put pressure on the defense. A lot of times when teams are super aggressive, that tends to create fouls as you want to allow your attacks to be against that defense.
Darrell Brooks, he has this jumping 2-3 zone here. We'll see how Scarborough responds to it. Puts a player in the middle, does China. Kaylee Britton gets that basketball right in the middle of the defense. Anytime you have a jumping 2-3, the middle is always the weakest point of the defense.
The middle of the floor is always the key point of attack. You have options, you have angles, and the basket, middle of the floor. So guess what? You're going to get great attacks. As they've gotten this steal, middle of the floor, it goes up.
Loose ball recovered by Scarborough. And we saw great outlet passes yesterday in the small division. There's a nice floater by Chloe Hickbottom. You can see her really being a valuable asset and why she scores 13 points per game. But Clark, after that score, quickly going the other direction, and another steal by Scarborough.
Yeah, this has turned into a run and gun game right here.
6-0 our score. And Clark Shaw doing a great job of on-ball defense there. Kenya Johnson, number 30 for Clark Shaw, playing great defense and comes away with a steal. But not before she steps out of bounds. You can see the hustle of both these teams, knowing what's at stake, this large division girls championship at stake.
Both teams are playing as though they are in a championship. Both of them are already somewhat exhausted because they're leaving it all out there. There's no possession that anybody's taking off right now.
Scarborough, the Lady Knights to inbound the basketball, knocked away. Inbound in that basketball is Kaylee Britton trying to get it in bounds. No on-ball defender. Clark Shaw needs to find number 3, and she gets an open look, and that's the wrong person to give an open look to.
Yeah, she scores again. Again, she's getting that ball into the heart of that zone some kind of way with her drive or her passing, and that's created this 8-0 lead.
Coach Darrell Brooks, along with the head coach there, Michelle Lofton, on the sidelines, just needs to see one to go through the hoop. If they're able to find a way to score any points at all, the confidence level will go through the roof. And almost steal, but knocked away, and the heart and soul and one opportunity for Kenya. Does a great job of continuing to stay with it, take the hoop and the harm.
Yeah, that's a great job, as you were just talking about, getting to the basket, seeing one go through. She stuck with that play, made that basket, took the contact, goes to the free throw line for and one.
Post player for Coach Brooks, and Coach Lofton is really the heart and soul. You'll see her leave it all on the floor, plays the post position, but Clark Shaw not a deep bench, as you mentioned earlier, Coach, and we'll see here if she's able to convert after seeing that first layup go in. And her free throw bounces up and no good. Rebounded and outletted to Hickbottom. And like I say, Coach Brooks normally would love to press, but because he doesn't want to get in foul trouble and save his bench, he is not pressing.
Yeah.
8-2 our score.
Coach is trying to also save his girls' legs, as it's smart. This is a long game, 4 quarters, and they want to make sure they're in this game at the end so they can win this game.
Kenya Johnson and Aaron Vines at the top of that 2-3 zone, two of the most active players, and you can see the tenacity by number 30 there, and she's going to get called for the foul, and that's something, it's okay to be aggressive. You just want to make sure that you have really a couple of fouls to give away, and that's one of those gimme fouls because that's only her first personal foul and the 4th team foul.
Yeah, you want to play as tough as you can play, as hard as you can play, as long as you can play, but without fouling.
And now Clark Shaw has kind of fallen back as Hickenbottom's shot is up and no good, but it will remain the Lady Knights basketball. Baseline out of bounds. We've seen them have some success here. And number 3 is who you definitely don't want to touch this. And they're going to call a foul, which will be the 5th team foul against Clark. And it should result in free throws coming up. No one at the table has signaled that yet. Nonetheless, Hickbottom, she continues to attack this Clark Shaw defense and comes away with 2 more. And Hickbottom, I think she has almost all 10 of the points for the Lady Knights as the full court pressure is being applied and the jump ball possession will stay with Clark Shaw.
I know she scored the last 6 if she doesn't have all 10. She's hit that runner, getting down the lane, and now shooting that floater. She does a really good job of it. Coach Brooks calls for the timeout.
And that's a great timeout to make sure they are lined up where he needs them to be. 10-2 is our score with 1:14 remaining in this girls' large division championship. And don't forget, this coming Monday, folks, it is a virtual distance instruction day. This coming Monday, February 3rd. Make sure you mark your calendar and spread the word. Virtual distance instruction day for all of the kiddos who will be staying at home, getting that virtual distance and instruction at home. No school on Monday on campus, so mark your calendar and make sure you're aware of what's going on this coming Monday. You can see a great shot there of Darryl Brooks in his Clark Shaw huddle. Also, Coach Brooks, he assists Charlie Shipp at Davidson for the girls and has been to multiple Final Fours at the high school level and does a tremendous job coaching these young ladies up.
He does. Davidson has a really good program, and he's a key component of that.
Clark Shaw trying to get on the board here as Aaron Vines is left-handed shot up and no good. Offensive rebound put back up and no good by Jada Oliver-Smith. A third opportunity by Kenya Johnson, no good, but diving for the floor and the loose ball, that's one of those 50-50 balls. You don't know whether to call a foul because both young ladies collided. And I don't think there was a foul, just going for the ball.
Just a lot of contact right there. It's just so much contact. You don't know if you want to call a foul or not, but hey, that's a loose ball. These girls are competing. Let them play.
That's what you want to see, the aggressiveness. And again, Kenya Johnson does a tremendous job of trying to apply, but there will be definitely now the 5th team foul, and we should be shooting here on the other end for Scarborough.
And that's going to be 2 fouls on Johnson, so let's see how Coach makes an adjustment and what he does to do with that.
Once again, our officials for this girls' large division championship game, Jerry Lowe and Clarence Jose, is who you see in the stripes. And 55.1 seconds remaining with Chloe Hickbottom, the 5', 7th grader, continuing to score. Averages 13 points per game, almost has her personal average here in the first quarter.
She does. She really does.
And that second one up and no good. Rebounded by Clark Shaw. And Mary Asia Robinson comes away with that rebound. 11-2 our score. And now the Lady Knights have possession of the basketball right in front of Clark Shaw's bench. And Clark Shaw just needs that one stop, coach, maybe getting out in transition, but definitely want to stop number 3. And there is that steal and that floater up and no good. A great look by Erin Vines and a great job of crashing the glass by the post player that we've been talking about the entire game, Kenya Johnson.
She's real aggressive around that basket as well as the open floor. She does a really good job of moving her feet and playing around the basket as well as out on the floor.
Erin Vines, number 4 for Clark Shaw, has done a tremendous job defensively at the top of this 2-3 jumping zone. And with 25 seconds, we'll see if the Lady Knights are able to hold for one or whether they'll just take the first and best available. You see some Harlem Globetrotter skills being applied by Chloe Hickbottom, and there'll be an over and back call. But she does show she does have some handles.
Yeah, she's an awesome 7th grader. She was handling that ball. There was 3 defenders on there at once.
And really the biggest possession here will be the last possession, as attacking is Erin Vines. She finds Kenya Johnson on the inside. She's going to be fouled, and Kenya will have an opportunity to go to the free throw line and cut into this 11-2 lead. I know talking to Coach Brooks and Coach Lofton earlier, they just really wanted to be patient offensively, and that's a great look. Kenya leaving it all on the floor, and now free throw opportunities here for her in the first quarter of action. And that one is no good.
Yeah, as we saw in yesterday's game, free throws are a large part of the game that sometimes are missed. There's a lot of points that you leave on the table without making these free throws. And right now, this 9-point lead could be, a 5-point lead.
She has her free throw routine down pat, which is part of making the concentration of free throw, whatever works for you. Her feet are together, and that follow through is good, but the shot is no good. Offensive rebound for Clark Shaw. We'll see if they're able to get one off before the quarter ends. Not to be. And at the end of the first quarter, our score, the Scarborough Lady Knights 11, the Clark Shaw Lady Eagles 2. You're watching the MCPSS Middle School Large Division Championship game.
Parents, if you have a child who will be 4 years of age on or before September 1st, then mark your calendar to register for the Mobile County Public Schools First Class Pre-K program. Online registration for this school year opens January 15th. Log on to MCPSS.com for more information and a complete listing of pre-K sites, screening, and selection information. First Class Pre-K registration January 15th. Save the date.
Did you know that missing 2 days of school per month
has a negative effect on student achievement?
And that chronic absenteeism is negatively impacting
1 out of every 10 Alabama students.
Studies show students who are chronically absent are more likely to drop out of school. For every 1 day your child is absent from school, it takes 3 days for them to catch up.
So if I am not sick, make sure I'm at school, because missing school means missing out.
Welcome back into the Girls Large Division Championship here in the Mobile County Public School System. Some hot hoops going on here, 11-2, and we've seen so far the Hickenbottom show, number 3 in white, has scored a ton of points for Coach China Powell.
Yeah, we know she has 9 of their 11 points, and maybe 11, because we didn't see that first basket go through.
And we saw her earlier this season have a season-high 24 points versus Causey, as Kenya Johnson takes it on the left side, uses the glass, and is able to finish. Now she looks and goes down. You don't want to see anybody injured, but looks like to be holding her wrist on that play.
Yeah, she went to the basket tough that time and made a tough basket. Maybe she was hoping for a foul right there.
And And you can see her drive left, be able to keep her head down and be able to finish. And as she was coming down, she was injured on the play, but was able to score the basket, making our score 11-4. But this young lady, she's crashed the glass. She is an 8th grader, but we've seen her be able to score as well. And now that changes the dynamics as Jada Oliver-Smith, the 7th grader, comes to the top of this 2-3 zone along with her teammate, Mary-Asia Robinson. Right wing three-pointer up and no good. Rebounded by Robinson, and she attempts that outlet pass to Vines. Shot up and no good. Last touch by Clark Shaw.
Yeah, you see Scarborough, they're doing a good job of picking up and engaging. Even on the miss, they pick up full court. So that defense has given Clark Shaw a little bit of trouble scoring early.
12-4 record for Clark Shaw's Lady Eagles. 2 of those 4 losses to this Scarborough team.
Yeah, as we talked about before, beating a team 2 and 3 times is going to be tough, but how it looks right now, Scarborough is in control of this game.
Great steal by Robinson. She turns it over, and there's a loose ball. Getting the ball across is going to be Hickbottom. Hickbottom going coast to coast. The hoop, the arm, and her scoring attack continues here this afternoon.
Yeah, she's not afraid to go to that basket and to get contact.
A little floater trying to take the charge. Could have taken it, but kind of ducked away from it instead. And that foul called against Allison Smith, and Hickbottom to the line for the and one opportunity, up and no good. Offensive rebound on the play. Janiyah Lassiter-Garrett, the 5'3", 8th grader, gets her an offensive rebound, is fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line shooting 2.
You want to win games, rebound the ball, especially on the offensive side. But you want to win games, rebound the ball.
And for Scarborough and Coach China Powell, talking to her, she really doesn't have true post players. She says her entire team really consists of guards, and her play consists of guards. And you'll see Lassiter-Garrett go back to the line and makes the first and misses the second. And Kenya gets back in the game. You love to see that as she makes a great outlet pass to Aaron Vines. And Vines is going to be fouled on the play. I tell you, Coach, what I love to see in middle school girls basketball is like we saw yesterday with Dunbar, the great outlet passes and the advance and the throw ahead.
Yeah, once you can make that pass ahead, defenses aren't getting back great in transition. That's not just on this lower level. Transition defense is a big thing, and it tests your defense, and they're getting that ball out, making it tough for them, getting easy opportunities.
Allison Smith, she gets fouled on her layup opportunity. The 8th grader will go to the line shooting 2, and 14-4 is our score. But with the clock stopped, being able to get back into this game at the free throw line is something I know Coach Brooks is hoping for.
Yeah, and I would think that Coach right now at this moment is probably looking to hope to get a make. He can probably set his prayers to give a chance to look and see if he can get a quick steal.
First free throw opportunity is missed by Allison Smith. And she'll take her time and get the ball lined up. The second one up and no good. Offensive rebound by Vines. Vines doing a great job of crashing the glass. And that's one thing, Coach. We've talked about the fundamentals here the last couple of days. Boxing out is one of those fundamentals that I know will drive coaches crazy, especially on free throws when you have the inside position.
Correct. Yeah, just a simple box out is just key to leading to getting rebounds, and that gives them extra possession. So that's something you want to make sure you do, the fundamentals, and boxing out is definitely at the top of the list.
Aaron Vines makes that first one. Great job by her taking her time, and with the clock stopped, being able to cut into this lead. And the lefty up and good for her. 14-6, our new score. As walking the ball up the floor is the 7th grader, Chloe Hickbottom. And finds her teammate underneath the basket. The turnaround shot is up and no good by Kaylee Britton. The 5'6", 8th grader. She's listed as a forward, but like Coach Powell said, it's really consists highly of guards.
Yeah, she's got a lot of versatility on this team, and that's what has helped her defensively, switching and playing different positions.
I love the way that Erin Vines, once she gets the basketball, she's going to wait for a defender to change her direction or stop her or cut her off. And if nobody's been able to stop or cut her off, she continues to attack. And now with less than 20 seconds having run off the clock, Clark Shaw right back at the free throw line shooting 2 more.
Yeah, she's a blur with the basketball. Like I said, she's just got to get a couple of finishes to go her way, but she is a blur with the basketball. Scarborough has had trouble keeping her in front.
14-6 our score, and checking in for the Lady Knights is Kaden Morris, the 5'7", 7th grader, playing that center position for China Powell, as this second one up and good by Vines. Cuts that lead to 7 now, and here comes a little bit more extended pressure. Looks like a little 1-2-2, and trying to cut off the sidelines.
We were definitely looking for Coach Brooks to set that press at some time. He just needed to get a make to actually get set and get into it, or a dead ball. He got that make, worked in his favor.
Turnover created. Now Clark Shaw has to get the ball in bounds, and not really on the same page there, as there's a layup and a turnover. One of those that you don't like to see if you're Coach Brooks, but on the other hand, here comes the full court man-to-man pressure as Vines handles it, and she's going to run a left-handed floater. She's going to be fouled on her way to the basket. Coach trying to inbound that basketball was Mariasia Robinson, and her teammate really wasn't looking for it, and it created 2 points in transition on the other end.
Yeah, I think she was actually looking to go set a screen for her teammate to bring her to the basketball, and a little bit of miscommunication. Calls for a steal in the backcourt, easy layup.
Erin Vines now back at the free throw line as we see one of Scarborough's players being helped to the training table, not being able to put any weight on that ankle. Really the first possession of the game is where we saw that injury occur, and Vines unable to connect there on that free throw. A little pressure here. Only 2 team fouls have been applied and creates a turnover.
Yeah, I'm sure that Coach Brooks is probably going to look to get into that press a little more as it's created 2 back-to-back turnovers. They just have to capitalize on it.
And we definitely hope Bailey is okay, as she was helped out, and Vines is going to go coast to coast until somebody steps in front of her, dribbles it off for a foot, off the defender's foot. It'll be talked about by the officials. I thought it went off of Vines' foot. The officials are discussing that now, and it will stay with Clark Shaw.
It will stay. I had what you had.
Clark Shaw trying to score points on dead ball situations. Got to be able to get it in, and got it into Vines, as she has it knocked away by Allison Smith. 3:22 remaining. Clark Shaw trailing 16-7. And we'll have another foul called against the Lady Knights, which will send Vines to a very familiar place, Coach, which is the free throw line.
Yeah, she's made a living there. She's made a living there, and right now they're in the bonus. So, you know, Coach is probably going to try to keep attacking and see if he can get some points from that line.
And here it is, a deep breath going to be taken by Vines as she goes through her shooting routine for her free throws. And her first one is up, and it'll be no good. But with the clock stopped, Coach, I mean, I'm going to continue to harp on it. You leave those circles in the book, those open free throws, you're trailing 7-16. It could easily be 10-16 if you knock down a couple of these free throws.
This could be a much closer game with making free throws. Actually missed both of those right there.
An offensive rebound travel called against Jada Oliver-Smith. And Coach Brooks, having only committed 2 team fouls, continues to extend his pressure defense. They're going to try to center to the sidelines, and that's going to be a blocking foul as A tough fall by Chloe Hickbottom. She has to get her breath about her as she took that tough foul. She was pushing it, trying to split the defenders and really going knee to knee there with Kenya. And that is going to be Kenya Johnson's third personal foul. So Coach Brooks is going to have to go to his bench and bring in Janiyah Gresham. You can see how tough Chloe is. Number 3 for the Lady Knights. Her floater up and no good. Loose ball kicked around and finally kicked out of bounds, and it will be Clark Shaw's basketball, Coach.
That was a big foul by Johnson. Let's see how Clark Shaw changes up their offense right now, because she was big key right there. Probably going to look for Vines to try to continue to get to the basket and get to the line to create some offense.
Vines trying to get it to her teammate who just checked in the game, and Gresham, and not able to connect. And checking in for Clark Shaw will be Anaya Seals, the 8th grader for Clark Shaw. And now a little full court denial, and Hickbottom gets it and breaks that with no problem. Her one-handed floater up and no good. Gets her own rebound and connects for 2 off of her own miss. Still that.
Yeah, she's a tough little kid. She continues to get downhill and get to that basket.
We talked about her averaging 13 points per game, and out of the 18 that scored, we know for sure she has at least 14 of them.
She has her average right now and above it, and is looking to go up.
Double bonus situation as a 30-second timeout will be called by China Powell, who also serves as the athletic director at Scarborough. She also has had an opportunity to be and win the first middle school flag football championship. So she has many championships under her belt. 6 7th graders this year, 4 8th graders, and again, won the middle school girls championship in 22-23 at 19-0. And this season trying to finish up 15-0.
So she'll have two not back-to-back, but 2 undefeated seasons under her belt.
And her team averages 32 points per game, Coach. And Coach China Powell, she does teach 8th grade math at Scarborough. And she really loves teaching. And I remember when she was a player at Davidson High School and the grit that she brought to doing the dirty work in regards to rebounding and defending, and it's become tenacious for her middle school teams also.
You can see the passion for the game from her just up and down the sideline and just seeing her interact with her team. And you can see it ooze out from her players as well.
Erin Vines back at the line for Clark Shaw, not able to cut into that deficit now. If she's able to make this one, it will be a 10-point lead for the Lady Knights. And she gets up and no good. Rebounded, being pushed down the floor by Lassiter Garrett, and she's going to find her point guard, Chloe Hickbottom. Hickbottom showing her dribbling skills again. Floater in the middle of the lane, up and no good. A great rebound by Clark Shaw, Anaya Seals. Ayanna Seals. Great job of bringing that one down with 2 hands. Want to get trapped in the corner is Robinson.
Yeah, it looks like Clark Shaw is going to struggle just a little, at least in that possession right there, without having Johnson on the floor. She's their go-to, so now it's a little bit stuck. Vines is probably going to have to step up a little more, put her head down and get to the basket.
And Chloe Hickbottom, number 3 for the Lady Knights, leading this attack from her point guard position. And you want to stay in zone, but when you're trailing 18-7, you have to come out and defend a little bit more than you're used to.
Yeah, especially without a shot clock, teams can really control how long they want to manage the ball and manage the game in essence.
A great block by Mariasia Robinson on Hickbottom. showing her tenacity defensively, knocked out of bounds, and it will be Scarborough's basketball baseline out of bounds. As they love to try to find number 3 here in white. As it's inbounded to Kate Morris, and she's going to be called for the traveling. And Clark Shaw will have to go the length of the floor to where they look to number 4 in Vines and let her just go coast to coast until somebody cuts her off. Trying to cross it over, turns it over, and it's going to be a steal by Lassiter Garrett. And the Lady Knights turn it over, and then the Lady Eagles turn it right back over. A nice no-look pass inside, and there'll be a traveling call against Andrea Winston, the 4'10" 8th grader. 4'10" 8th grader guard has checked in for the Lady Knights, but that full court pressure is still being applied by Scarborough with Vines. Now they're pulling it back. They are in the double bonus, so you don't want to foul here to give Clark an opportunity to score 3 points at the free throw line.
Yeah, the key is to make it to the second half and make it to the end of the game, and that's what they're trying to do right now. With this 11-point lead, they're in control of this game, so no reason to do anything else.
And Coach Powell's had to make adjustments with Dralicia Bailey going out on the first possession of the game with an ankle injury. One of those returning starters along with Janiyah Lassiter Garrett for Coach Powell. And Clark Shaw has 2 fouls to give here in this quarter. A floater by Hickbottom up and no good. Rebounded by the Eagles. Jada Oliver-Smith, who turns it over back over to Hickbottom, having another opportunity. Make or miss, the Lady Knights love to apply pressure. And here's a wide open layup, coast to coast. Great job getting on the board for the Lady Eagles, Mariasia Robinson.
Right there, they looked up the floor, got that ball ahead, got an easy layup. That's what they're going to have to do a lot. Instead of head down and dribbling, they're going to have to look up and pass.
Cutting it now to 9 points, and we see another timeout, injury timeout, I do believe, on the floor. Official timeout on the floor as now after that layup, 3 team fouls against Clark Shaw, 5 against Scarborough. So Coach Brooks, he decides to go ahead and fall back and not apply that full court pressure, and the Lady Knights will hold for the last shot of the quarter. Hickbottom breaks and splits that defense. Her shot up and no good. She goes after her own misses, Coach, and is able to come away with it with 4 seconds. Steps back for a 3-pointer up and no good as time will expire. And at halftime, our score, the Scarborough Lady Knights lead the Clark Shaw Lady Eagles 18-9. 18-9 is our halftime score here in this large girls division middle school championship. And Coach, you look at the first quarter of play, it was 12-4 at the end of the first quarter. And Clark Shaw was able to make a little bit of a run here, just not able to convert their free throws here in the first half.
Yeah, this game could be actually a lot closer had they made just a few free throws. This 11-point lead could easily be 6 or even 5 for that matter.
I know that's something Coach Brooks is going to be talking about. Look, we're going to continue to attack and get to the free throw line. We just have to find a way to make our free throws in the second half. But, again, more exciting second half action coming your way here in this large division girls championship game. You're watching the MCPSS Television Network.
Part of the experience of going to the Mobile Museum of Art is that it's there for everyone.
Art is there to inspire, to give you other perspectives, and to make you think outside of yourself.
The museum offers a critical service to the culture of the community.
It's providing the opportunity to have eyes open.
Mobile County Public Schools completes about $100 million in school construction each year. And we're looking for new contractors and construction vendors to help us ensure that all students are learning in top-notch facilities. Is your company interested in becoming a construction vendor for Mobile County Public Schools so you can bid on these projects? We need contractors, plumbers, HVAC installers, roofers, electricians, painters, and more. Follow these steps to become a vendor. Number 1, complete the vendor application online. Under System, select Business, and then under Resources, click Vendor Online Application. Number 2, enter the vendor portal. Click Apply to agree to the terms and click Save and Next. Number 3, enter your business information as prompted. A tax ID number or social security number will be required to complete the application. At the bottom of each page, click Save and Next. To find out what projects are currently open for bidding, visit mcpss.com/bid invitation. Follow MCPSS Facilities Facebook page and email facilities to receive notifications. Complete these easy steps, and your company soon may be part of Team MCPSS.
I believe my child's school is probably one of the best ones I could have picked in Mobile. She's in the PACE program. The teachers are phenomenal. The principal, couldn't ask for a better principal. The research that I had done myself, I believe the quality of education in Mobile County Public School System is excellent. For me and my child, I'm going to stick with the public school system. I think it's the way to go.
Welcome back here to the large Division Girls Championship here in the Mobile County Public School System. Corey LeBounty along with Coach Trent Eager joining you as we're about to conclude halftime. 18-9 our score, where the Scarborough Lady Knights, they are leading, Coach. And one of the big reasons that the Scarborough Lady Knights are leading is because of their spectacular 7th grade point guard, Chloe Hickbottom.
Yeah, she has done a really good job of attacking the basket, getting downhill, getting easy shots, and she's capitalized and made them.
And one of the things to keep an eye on is the foul trouble of number 30 for Clark Shaw, Kenya Johnson. We have to make sure that she does stay out of foul trouble. She already has 3 fouls committed so far here, and Coach Brooks, he doesn't have a deep bench for Clark Shaw, so that's something that I'm definitely going to keep an eye on in the second half.
Yeah, she's a key player on the glass defensively and offensively, as she's a big threat offensively down by the basket as well as rebounding, so she is key on both sides of the ball.
The biggest thing here, though, Coach, I say is you must continue to attack either Clark Shaw, find a way to stop the clock, make your free throws, cut into that deficit, play without fouling yourselves here in the second half. At stake, beating a team 3 times in a perfect season is on the line here for Scarborough. As we get ready to start the second half of action, it will be Clark Shaw basketball, and one of those unforced turnovers stepping on the line was Mariasia Robinson. And it will now become the Lady Knights basketball, and you'll get a chance to see number 3, the 7th grader, averaging 13 points per game, season high 24 versus Causey. And you can see she distributes the basketball as well as handles the basketball for head coach China Powell. The one-handed floater up and no good, taken by Vines, and she's going to push the ball down the floor. She's a left-hander. Her left-handed layup up and no good, rebounded by Chloe.
Yeah, this kid is everywhere. She just shot that basket at the rim, and now she got back down on this end and got the rebound. So that's a lot of hustle. That's what you want to see in a championship game.
Three-point attempt by Haley Mack, the 5'5", 7th grader. No good, and now Clark Shaw going the other direction in transition. The layup up and no good by Jada Oliver-Smith. But that's all you could ask for if you're Clark Shaw, to get an open look and an open opportunity. As we take a look at Coach Ronnie Arrow, who calls our Tuesday night high school hoops along with our good buddy Al Whedon. He's in the house checking out some great middle school action. Chloe Hickbottom handling the basketball, has it deflected there, and substitutions will be made as Kenya Johnson is checking back in this contest.
It looks like one of the adjustments that Coach Brooks has made is trying to double Higginbottom. So let's see how that fares in the second half.
And that's one of the things he talked about coming into this game, not being able to stop, but just being able to contain and slow down Higginbottom. And so far, Higginbottom has kind of had her way as Johnson picks up her dribble in the backcourt, throws it across the floor, and there'll be a turnover as she was looking for Mariasia Robinson, and it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, Higginbottom, she makes this team go. And with Jaleisha Bailey out right now, she's going to be their key thing, so that's why Coach wants to take that away. Let's see how that goes.
Three-pointer up and good off of the glass. The bank continues to be open for Lassiter Garrett. 21-9 now, the lead, and that's just one of those almost back-breaking three-pointers that Scarborough continues to apply this full-court pressure. A loose ball at half-court, diving on the floor for the loose ball. A jump ball in favor of now the Scarborough Lady Knights.
That's a big play right there. As we talked about, championship level basketball. These kids are really competing.
Clark Shaw won 36-21 in the semis versus Hankins to get here to this championship game. And Hickbottom attacking this zone, and she's going to be tripped on the play. And she comes down and hits her elbow as she's slow to get up. But her teammates help her up, and she just shows the type of warrior that she is. It'll be baseline out of bounds for the Lady Knights, and Hickbottom has it on the right wing, and she's going to be called for traveling right in front of her head coach, China Powell. Back to Clark Shaw, but that full court pressure definitely is coming. And 4 across is what Darryl Brooks is instructing his girls to do in order to break this pressure. It's going to get it inside the Robinson. Let her handle this full court pressure. Rouser, Taneria Rouser knocks it away, and now her teammate, Lassiter Garrett, lays it up and in.
That's a big-time steal in the backcourt. Easy layup. That's how you stretch this game. Pull away.
And almost another steal as Clark Shaw pushing it across the floor. Kind of a lofty pass, stolen back by Clark Shaw. As Robinson, her floater up and no good, gets her own miss, and she will be fouled on the play by Chloe Hickbottom. And that's a big opportunity here to stop the clock. Go ahead and get your composure about you. Make one or both of these free throws to cut into this lead.
Yeah, it's also a good time to get some rest. Coach, his bench is a little shorter, so now you want to take this time to actually get yourself together. Like you said, get your composure, get a little bit of breather. And also, you make this shot, these free throws, you get to set your defense now.
Mariasia Robinson strokes the first one, nothing but net. 23-10 now our score, and her second free throw opportunity is up and no good. Hickbottom comes away with the rebound, pushing it a little 4-on-2 action. Gives it to her teammate. Her turnaround shot up and no good by Haley Mack. And Mack misses it, but she's going to find a way to get the ball back. Hickbottom on the right wing, steps inside for a short jumper up and no good. Another offensive rebound by Mack and the Lady Knights. A three-pointer from the left wing, up and no good. Offensive rebound, up and good off of the glass by Kaylee Britton.
And that's 3 offensive rebounds in that possession. And the more chances you give a team, they're going to capitalize and score off of one of them. So you have to rebound the basketball and keep the ball out of their hands.
Tie up in the backcourt, and this one will go to Clark Shaw, but you can see off of makes and misses, the pressure being revved up by head coach China Powell and her Scarborough Lady Knights.
Yeah, coach sees a big leeway in the game where they have a guard out in Vines, and I don't know when Brooks is going to go back with her, but I expect her to be back out soon.
15-point lead for Scarborough, their largest of the contest, as Clark Shaw trying to get the ball in bounds in front of their own bench and are able to get it in. Allison Smith turning it over, and Chloe Hickbottom coast to coast with an easy right-handed layup. 2 more for her.
Yeah, we know she's past her average right now. We know she has at least 15.
27-10 our score, trying to get it in. Another steal. Hickbottom, she's going to be fouled on the play by Johnson, it looks like. And that will be Johnson's 4th personal foul. And it'll send the 5-foot, 7th grade Chloe Hickbottom to the free throw line. But that full court pressure starting to wear down, and the lack of depth for Coach Brooks is something that, look, you just wanted to keep it within striking distance trying to go into the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you just want to actually stay there, stay within the game. Usually they say keep it within 10. That's just a few possessions, so if you want to keep it there. But right now, Scarborough is doing a really good job of dominating on the defensive end and capitalizing, scoring in transition and layups. So easy baskets, and they're making free throws.
And Hickbottom, part of the 6th, 7th graders that Coach Powell has, and we'll take a timeout here with the Scarborough Lady Knights leading the Clark Shaw Lady Eagles 29-10 here on the MCPSS Television Network.
What's the matter, baby? You're not feeling good?
School-aged children are at a higher risk of getting and spreading germs and viruses. To help protect the spread, students are encouraged to stay home when sick. Parents, it's important for your child to remain at home at least 24 hours after they no longer have a fever of 100 degrees or higher without the use of medications. Please help us maintain a healthy learning environment.
Welcome back to the Large Girls Middle School Championship here in Mobile County. On the campus of Maddie T. Blunt High School, you can see the beautiful floor refurbished here as Jerome Woods and the Leopards are hosting here. But, Coach, we've seen the scoring by Chloe Hickbottom.
Yeah, she's a spectacular player as she scored at least 17 of their points. And right now she's outscored Clark Shaw by herself. Almost doubled it.
Janiyah Lassiter-Garrett with a breakaway layup, now 31-10, and there'll be a traveling call against Clark Shaw as Jada Oliver-Smith, the 7th grader for Clark Shaw, will get called for it. But, you know, you look at the competitiveness and how much heart Clark Shaw has shown this entire season. No quit in these Lady Eagles at all, as there's a running floater by Hickbottom, no good. But what you're starting to see is the Lady Knights getting their hands on all of the misses that are being shot.
Yeah, they've gained a lot of confidence as they scored on defense. They've scored off of offense. So right now they just have confidence everywhere.
31-10 our score with 1:38 remaining here. As checking out of the game is Ayana Seals. And we'll see here Scarborough get a free jump shot from the right corner up and no good. And that jump shot by Haley Mack. She's had a couple of good looks here, and it will remain with the Lady Knights. Wide open look again by Lassiter-Garrett. Tapped out to Hickbottom. Her three-pointer up and no good. And it's one of those 50-50 balls, Coach, that we just were talking about.
Yeah, offensive rebounds in there again. That was 2 extra possessions, made baskets. So the more opportunities you continue to give, that's going to be costly for you.
Chloe Hickbottom again with 2 more points as trying to handle this full court pressure, and a traveling will be called against Mariasia Robinson as, again, this pressure continues to be revved up, and all of this pressure being turned up without Dralicia Bailey, the 5'2" 8th grader, injured in the first quarter of action, really on the first series, and we saw her leave the building with the assistants being carried out, so we definitely hope that her leg or ankle is okay and she won't be able to witness her team winning this championship if the score holds, but Coach Powell was showing that other young ladies can step up as well.
Yeah, like Coach Powell made a strong key, she doesn't have the post play. She's got a team full of guards, but that versatility defensively has hurt Clark Shaw defensively with their pressing and switching positions, as well as offensively. That's tough to guard. They just have all guards, and Chloe Higginbottom is a load by herself.
1 team foul committed so far by the Lady Knights. That allows this full court pressure to continue to be applied also, because there in the second quarter, we saw the Lady Knights get into foul trouble, which sent Clark Shaw to the free throw line, have stayed foul free here in the third quarter.
Yeah, they just couldn't capitalize and keep the game close, and then the game actually ballooned and stretched out the second half.
And with a steal here, it's going to be a double dribble called on Jordan Dukes as she tries the breakaway. 35-10 our score, 32.6 seconds remaining here in our girls large division championship game here in Mobile County. And 4 across being called, and there's going to be a traveling call against Cash Sanders. And here with 31.2, we'll see if the Lady Knights are able to capitalize. And we've seen Chloe Hickbottom. She continues to attack this defense. She's going to be called for a traveling. Tried to go with the jump stop. Not able to. She catches a little cramp there on the floor as her teammate stretchers her out. But once again, you will see on dead ball situations the full court press being applied.
Yeah, they're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to set their defense. As long as we've got time on the clock, we're going to play. This is a championship game, and no lead is safe.
Full court pressure being applied, broken by Robinson. Does a great job of breaking that press and attacking the rim. And really, as soon as they get it beyond half court, that has been the struggle here in the third quarter. But a great job of Robinson breaking it and attacking the rim.
Yeah, she did a really good job then of getting where she wanted, getting to her spot. She got a good look off. She got fouled on it. Hopefully she can make these 2 free throws and maybe start cutting to that lead a little bit. You see one go right there. That usually, hope that leads to a little confidence.
Robinson taking her time there at the line, getting ready to make this one her second opportunity. And here's her second free throw with the cheerleaders from Scarborough making a little bit of noise, making their presence known, and a steal by Clark Shaw. Shot up and no good by Robinson. With 10 seconds remaining, pushing it inline to inline is Lassiter Garrett. And looking at the clock is going to be a three-pointer at the buzzer. You can count it, you betcha. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Lassiter Garrett at the buzzer as we end the third quarter, 36-11. 37-11 our score here at the end of the third quarter of this girls large division championship game.
There's a lot to like about Mobile County Public Schools.
What I enjoy about Mobile County School is the extra attention my teachers give us to help us learn.
Teachers are liking their access to technology, and students are liking the quality of their education.
I like the technology that's been incorporated into my education.
And since 1826, you have trusted us to prepare your child for their future, and we like that. Mobile County Public Schools. We are learning today, leading tomorrow.
At Mobile County Public Schools, we believe it starts with us. That's why we offer Signature Academies.
I'm Tracy Tran, and I'm in the Healthcare and Dental Academy at Theodore High School. In the Dental Academy, I'm working alongside dental professionals getting hands-on training from those already working in the industry. Shadowing them on the job makes me want to work even harder because now I know what I want to be.
Signature Academies are open to all students in Mobile County Public High Schools. To find out more, visit MCPSS.com.
Welcome back here to the Girls Large Division Championship, and you can see the buzzer beater clearly behind the line was Janiyah Lassiter-Garrett. Here on our official scoreboard, it reads 37-11. So we'll continue to go with what the home scoreboard has, even though it really should be 38-11. But we're here starting the fourth quarter of this Girls Large Division Championship between the Clark-Shaw Lady Eagles and the Scarborough Lady Knights. Corey LeBounty along with Coach Trent Eager, who is the head men's coach at Bishop State Community College, along with the athletic director. And you look at Scarborough continuing to let it fly from the three-point line to start the fourth period.
Yeah, right here, right now, this is going to be an uphill battle for Clark-Shaw. They're going to have to really get into some stuff really early, actually.
And Clark-Shaw only scoring 2 points there in the third quarter, as our halftime score was 18-9, and now 37-11. Clark-Shaw looking to go the length of the floor as Robinson handles the pressure, crosses over, attacking the rim. Her layup up and no good. Offensive rebound put up by Johnson, up and no good. And here comes Hickbottom. Chloe Hickbottom trying to find her teammates, and her teammate Lassiter-Garrett at the top of the key, three-pointer up and no good.
I tell you, that was a really good look. Went down, just didn't go through.
Has the crowd on her side, and now you have Kenya Johnson back handling for the Lady Eagles, and she's going to be fouled. And I will say this, a great crowd in attendance here for this girls' Large Division Championship. Don't forget, coming up next, our boys' Large Division Championship will feature these same two schools, which is kind of great. Coming up next, the boys' Large Division Championship, Clark-Shaw versus Scarborough. You don't want to miss this exciting boys game directly following this championship contest, as Kenya Johnson will go to the free throw line trying to cash in and score 2 points for her Lady Eagles. Like her routine at the line, puts it behind her waist, and at the wrong line there, she lined up at the volleyball line instead of the free throw line.
Yeah, these lines can be really confusing. As you can play on some courts, they don't have a volleyball court, and some they do. So that was confusing right there. They just made the adjustment for her.
And you look at her routine, Coach. Once she gets this basketball, she spins it behind her back and is able to try to convert. Not able on that play as Cash Sanders checks in for the Lady Eagles along with her teammate, Janiyah Gresham. And there's that behind the back routine she has. And the lefty shot is up and no good. 37-11 our score, Coach.
Yeah, free throws are a large part. We can't say that they would be in the game right now with these made free throws, but definitely at that half, had they made a few more free throws, that would have been a closer game. Maybe changed the way Coach Brooks could have coached, could have changed and done things.
Hickbottom with another 2 points for the Scarborough Lady Knights. 39-11 now the score. And if you reach 30 points at any point in time in middle or high school, you go to the running clock rule.
Yeah, they're in jeopardy of that right now, as Coach Powell has told her team to go ahead and get back and play defense on the half.
Great steal by Clark-Shaw, shot up and no good, as Kenya Johnson is able to get the third opportunity there for Clark-Shaw, and she will go back to the free throw line trying to add 2 more to her point total as the Lady Eagles trail 39-11. And Coach, it has really been the Chloe Hickenbottom show here for Coach China Powell and the Lady Knights. Number 3 in white. I know you've been tallying her points since the beginning of the first quarter. And
yeah, she's sitting at 23 points right now, and that's doubled, right at doubled Clark Shaw, and she's just been phenomenal as we still got 4 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in this game.
Her season high was 24 points versus Causey. No better place to break that record than in the championship game, if at all possible.
Correct, and I believe she's going to do it.
Second free throw up and no good. Tapped around, controlled by Clark Shaw. Great job of attacking that glass, and it was a three-pointer from the right wing by Vines.
That's a big shot. They needed to see that go down, set their defense, set their press, get after it.
And Hickbottom trying to break this pressure. Her shot up and no good as she's fouled. She'll go to the line, trying to go ahead and tie her season high. And as a 7th grader, it will be her career high because the first year you can play is as a 7th grader. She will be returning next year for Coach China Powell. Great look at the Clark Shaw Eagles Lady Cheerleaders. And there will be a timeout on the floor. The cheerleaders are such an instrumental part of what goes on. They work tremendously hard. As now you get a chance to look at China Powell talking to her young ladies as well.
Yeah, I like the composure of Coach with her team. Her team seems to feed off of her energy. She's been up and down the sideline directing them, and they've been keying in and listening. So it is shown in this game they have this 39-15 lead.
Coach, we saw a team yesterday finish the season undefeated, and trying to see that once again today for the Lady Knights to go to 15-0. We saw Dunbar yesterday. They won the small girls division championship 39-15, and then we saw a phenomenal boys game to where Denton, the Admirals, won 34-31 over Phillips. And today, perfection at hand here for Coach Powell and her Lady Knights.
Yeah, this has been a phenomenal game to actually watch as she does. Hickenbottom, she ties her career high.
And this is a young lady, you'll be hearing her name a lot here in the future in Mobile, Alabama. As Vines pushing the ball up the floor, Aaron Vines has done a great job of trying to handle this basketball for Coach Brooks, as Clark Shaw will have the basketball baseline out of bounds underneath their own basket. And a nice layup opportunity, great designed and executed play by Allison Smith, scoring 2 points, and Hickbottom quickly breaks the pressure, and she's going to have a floater up and good. 2 more points for Chloe Hickenbottom.
And that breaks her record. I know that's 26 right now at least.
And we can't mention it enough that she has single-handedly outscored Clark Shaw by herself this afternoon in this girls large division championship. Hickbottom handling the pressure, spins away from it. And that's one of those things that as long as she gets across half court, splits the double team and is going coast to coast, her shot up and no good. And a blocking foul is called against Clark Shaw.
Yeah, she has no problem, no issues with contact and getting downhill and getting to that basket. You have to send to her way, keep her in front and keep her out of the lane. Make her come off the ball.
And what you've seen Coach China Powell also be able to do is pretty much play everyone on her bench, as she runs into a solid defender there who really held her ground and called for the foul was Cash Sanders. As Hickenbottom adds to her total. Folks, Chloe Hickenbottom has put on a special show here and saved her best for last.
She has. She has saved her best for last. with 27 points right now. 3 minutes left in the game. She has controlled this game, and it looks like she's dealt with cramps the whole second half, actually.
And Coach Powell only having one to put pressure there on the basketball as she decides to fall back into her half-court defense. A three-pointer up and no good by Vines, and there's going to be a traveling on the outlet pass by Kaylee Britton. And Clark Shaw trying to take advantage of this opportunity here. Baseline out of bounds. A layup up and no good by Vines, and it will be the Lady Knights basketball.
Yeah, Coach Brooks drew up something. They got a great look right there. They just didn't come up with the basket.
Britton with the long pass to Hickenbottom. And Hickenbottom taking it coast to coast. Layup up and no good. Unable to finish there with 3 minutes remaining. 43-17 our score. Kenya Johnson receives a great transition pass. She's unable to make it. And Britton gets the rebound. And the loose ball is going to be secured and last touched by the Lady Knights. Clark Shaw basketball here as Vines finds her teammate, Seals. Back to Robinson, her shot up and no good. Rebounded by Kaylee Britton. And Clark Shaw, they're not going to quit, Coach. They're going to continue to attack and continue to draw those fouls.
They're not, and they've done a good job. Their out-of-bounds stuff is really good. They've gotten downhill, gotten good looks. Now they're at the free throw line. Hopefully they can make these free throws and get 2 more on the board.
Here it is, another free throw opportunity coming up for Aaron Vines. The lefty shot up and no good. Rebounded by Lassiter Garrett. Outlet to Hickbottom, who travels on that outlet pass.
Yeah, just got a little ahead of herself. Saw something a little too early, forgot to dribble it.
3 team fouls called against the Lady Knights, 2 against Clark Shaw, and Kenya Johnson, left block, left layup, up and good. 2 more for Clark Shaw and Kenya Johnson. Full court pressure continuing to be applied as Hickenbottom, she advances it to Lassiter Garrett. Her pull-up jumper up and no good. Offensive rebound by Haley Mack. Saves it, but to Clark Shaw, and the outlet pass goes to Kenya Johnson. Nice no-look pass to her teammate who wasn't able to handle it. Vines is able to secure the loose ball, and she will be fouled. But great hustle being shown by Clark Shaw's Lady Eagles.
Yeah, as you said earlier, they're not going to quit, and they are still playing to the end of the clock right now.
2:03 remaining. 43-19 our score. And it will be baseline out of bounds for Clark Shaw. As the Lady Eagles are going to get it to Vines. Vines, turnaround jumper up and no good. Offensive rebound up and no good. A third look. It finally goes in for Ayana Seals. Scores 2 more, and the full court pressure being broken by Hickenbottom. Hickenbottom, her one-handed floater up and no good. And she is going to tie up Robinson, and the possession arrow does favor the Scarborough Lady Knights. And substitutions coming in the game for Clark Shaw. Jada Oliver-Smith checking in along with her teammate Janiyah Gresham. And Knights struggling to get the ball in bounds, but finally finding Hickenbottom. 2 more for Hickenbottom. And 45-21 is our new score as Vines trying to break that full court pressure, finds her teammate, Smith. Just couldn't handle that ball, and it will go back over. Great opportunity here for Journey Bennett. Also, number 20, inbounding the basketball, and checking in is Jordan Dukes, another 7th grader. So you have Journey Bennett inbounding the basketball. Jordan Dukes, number 21, they're doubling Hickenbottom, so she can't get the basketball. And that ball is inbounded to Andrea Winston. And Winston turns it over, and Vines will have a breakaway layup on the left side. It's up and good, Coach.
Yeah, came up with the steal right there. I just think it might be just a little too late.
45-23, our score, as perfection on the mind for the Lady Knights from Scarborough. As Coach Powell has played her entire bench, and again, our thoughts are with Dralicia Bailey, who is not going to be able to enjoy this celebration with her teammate, but don't think for 1 minute that her teammates aren't thinking about her.
Yeah, it looks like they wanted to make sure to seal this win for her, as right now they're up 22. Coming up with this possession will be huge.
Nice steal in the backcourt. Off glass for 2 more is Aaron Vines, and here comes that full court pressure. Like you said, Coach, down 20, no quit in the Lady Eagles. And picking up this loose ball, another steal for Robinson. Robinson is going to be fouled with 40.6 seconds remaining. It will be the 4th team foul called against Scarborough.
So not a shooting foul on the next. They'll be in the bonus. So you got 40 seconds right here. We'll see what they do on this out of bounds play.
Shot up and good by Janiyah. Great job by Janiyah Gresham. And the floater up and no good by Hickenbottom. Offensive rebound put in for 2 points for Haley Mack. She gets into the scoring column as 20 seconds remain. Counting down, a little full court man-to-man pressure being applied as coast to coast goes Robinson. Her shot up and no good. Offensive rebound by Kenya Johnson. And with 6.4 seconds remaining, that will be the 5th team foul called against the Lady Knights.
Yeah, they've played from end to end, and you got to congratulate these teams on a great game and a great season, because Clarkshaw never gave up today.
Going to the line, Kenya Johnson. Her shot up and no good. And Coach Powell looking to win another championship here at the middle school level. Her 2nd one this season, as she was the flag football champion as well for Scarborough. And that went up and no good. Hickenbottom secures it, and she will dribble out the time, throws the ball up, and perfection for the Scarborough Lady Knights. They advance to 15-0. 15-0, a perfect season for China Powell and the Scarborough Lady Knights, defeating the Clarkshaw Lady Eagles 47-27. Our final score, Coach.
Big championship win. Scarborough has controlled this game from end to end, and now they're champions, 15-0.
You couldn't ask for a better season, and Coach Powell, she stressed she loves coaching these young ladies because they're very coachable and were able to go ahead and bring that perfection. So Coach has gone in 2022 and 2023 19-0. You add that to this 15-0 record. Pretty impressive for middle school girls basketball.
Correct, pretty impressive. You can see that her team buys into what she tries to do, and they compete for her so hard as she's gotten to this point.
Chloe Hickenbottom was really the star of this show and has been all season long, as we are joined now by head coach China Powell. Coach, congratulations on securing this championship. And I know you had to do it without one of your starters, one of your returning starters. I know she was injured early in the game. Talk to us about winning the championship for her.
Yes, she was sad that she couldn't play. She said, Coach, I don't know. She said, my knee. And I was like, it's going to be okay. We're going to get it for you. We're going to get it for you, and we got it for her.
Jalicia Bailey was the injured player, and again, I know she's not being able to be here with her teammates, and you just shouted her out, but talk about your 7th grade phenom, Chloe Hickenbottom. She really outscored the Clark Shaw Lady Eagles by herself. Talk about her season and career high performance that she had for tonight.
When Chloe came here, man, she's a hard worker. Every game, Chloe gonna give us 110% every single time. She's gonna go hard. She's going to try to do it by herself. I tell her all the time, Chloe, you can't do it by yourself. Let your team help you, and then we going to get it. You got to let your team help you, and we going to get it, and we got it. She got to do it by herself, but she did it. But the team also, like I said, we are a team of all guards, and she did it, and her team helped her also.
Coach, we want to congratulate you on winning another championship at Scarborough Model Middle School, part of another undefeated season for the Lady Knights. Get ready to get for your trophy presentation, and again, a perfect season, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. China Powell joining us, the head coach of the Scarborough Lady Knights, and coach, a great team performance. Everyone was able to touch the floor, but Clark Shaw showed no quit, and the job that Darryl Brooks and the Lady Eagles have done was tremendous.
Yeah, despite the score, that's what you want to see in a championship game. Both teams competed. It's just Scarborough made more plays, and they were just a better team on today.
Really, the pressure and turnovers was the difference there, as they were able, it was a fairly close first quarter, and the missed free throws, the opportunities to keep the game close early. Coach Brooks wanted to keep it within striking distance going into the fourth quarter, but that third quarter run was tremendous, and we'll get ready for our championship trophy division as an undefeated season is capped off by the Scarborough Lady Knights.
Congratulations to both schools.
Now we'll turn it over to Jerome
Thank
Woods,
you for attending the
principal at
2025
Mediacom.
middle school, large school championships. And now we have the trophy presentations for the second place team for 2025. Congratulations to the Clark Shaw Eagles. Once again, congratulations to Clark Shaw. And for your 2025 middle school, large school champion, Scarborough Model Middle School. Once again, congratulations, Scarborough Model Middle.
And that concludes our trophy presentation, and it's a perfect trophy presentation for the Scarborough Model Middle School Lady Knights as China Powell adds another championship trophy. You can relate, Coach. You're the athletic director at Bishop State Community College. She's the athletic director at Scarborough Middle School. Talk about how dual roles there are just overwhelming sometimes.
So a lot of times you're in games, you're in season, you're at everything. You wear a different hat. So you got to think about everything on the whole. But when you're in that moment, she's been able to lock in and focus on her team. So she's done a really good job with being 15-0 and adding another championship.
The inaugural flag football championship goes to Scarborough Model Middle School, the Lady Knights, as well. 4 players on her roster were part of her flag football championship team as well, and it was just a tremendously played game as Scarborough finds a way to become the large division girls champions, and we congratulate them and Clark Shaw on a tremendous season. And don't forget, coming up immediately next, you'll see these two teams play once again, but it will be the boys edition, as the large boys championship middle school game will be coming your way up next here on MCPSS Television Network.
A teacher is one of the biggest investors in a community.
They impact the lives of those we value the most.
Teachers share knowledge which helps shape and mold our future leaders.
Teachers show direction and help build a sense of purpose.
Are you ready to make a change? For more information on teaching opportunities, teacher incentives, or to apply with the Mobile County Public Schools, log on to www.mcpss.com.
High school students, are you looking for a way to become a better leader? Then the Junior Officers Training Corps may be what you're seeking. If you would like to develop self-reliance, learn ways to be more responsible, and improve your communication skills, you can do that and more when you register for the Junior Officers Training Corps. The JROTC program is available to all high school students in Mobile County. JROTC, we build a better you.
Did you know that missing 2 days of school per month has a negative effect on student achievement?
And that chronic absenteeism is negatively impacting
1 out of every 10 Alabama students.
Studies show students who are chronically absent are more likely to drop out of school. For every 1 day your child is absent from school, it takes 3 days for them to catch up.
So if I am not sick, make sure I'm at school, because missing school means missing out.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Sergeant Major Williams. I'm the Operating Sergeant Major for JCLC / for the DAI shop. Most of y'all saw me before, drill meets, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right, what we're gonna do this week, we're gonna do what's called a mini JCLC. A mini JCLC.
The title of this is JROTC Cadet Leadership Camp, or Challenge. Some people refer to it as JROTC Cadet Leadership Challenge. This particular year, it's the first year we've hosted it in Mobile, Alabama. Because of the budget cuts that came about as a result of sequestration, we normally go to Fort McClellan, Alabama. But rather than not have it at all, my instructors and I decided to host one locally and sort of do it out of Hyde.
Today, some of y'all going rappelling, some of y'all going on a museum tour. Some of y'all will be going to land navigation, water survival training, map reading, things of that nature.
So it's a very full and ambitious week. We had over 200 students from our Mobile County area participate in this program.
Forward, mark.
Hey, my name is Clarice Brazil from LaFleur High School. I'm a first lieutenant. I'm the XO of the Charlie Company. After high school, I plan on going to the Navy, but I want to go ahead and get experience with some of the stuff that the military has to offer.
Battalion!
Company!
Our program at LaFleur High School is we have drill team, rifle team, the Raiders team, PT team, and just different stuff like that. But this stuff that we're doing at the camp is pretty similar to the stuff that we do on different teams.
I'm Rebecca Adams. I go to Mary G. Montgomery High School. I am 15 years old. I live in Mobile, Alabama. I decided to join ROTC because in my future I have planned to go to the Army. And I felt that it would properly train me enough to go.
Well, dress right, dress.
My expectations for the 4-day mini JCLC are to learn better leadership traits and learn land navigation training because I'm not educated in that at all. And hopefully learn how to save someone from drowning and to just have fun with my fellow cadets.
Battalion! Company!
We're limited somewhat in what we're allowed to teach because these are still students. The This is probably the most risky thing that we're allowed to do in JROTC, considering these are high school students and they're not in the Army or any service for that matter. Most importantly, at least from my vantage point, is that young children at the high school level get an opportunity to look within themselves and overcome fears that are very natural fears. And they develop confidence in equipment, and they develop confidence in instructors, and they develop confidence in themselves. That type of learning can be applicable to any other learning situation or any situation that you face in life.
What are you doing here, Private Esparza? Getting strong, Drill Sergeant! Why are you here, Private Cochran? To be a soldier, Drill Sergeant! What are you doing here? Training to be a graphic artist, Drill Sergeant! You joined the world's greatest army to become a graphic artist? Outstanding! Now that's a man with a plan!
With unmatched training and over 150 careers that give you options beyond the battlefield, there are over 150 ways to become Army strong. Find yours at goarmy.com/defy.
It's here, the MCPSS mobile app. It's a way for you to stay connected and informed with all of the happenings around the school district. Receive weather alerts, check your child's grades and homework, plus more. Watch sports, original programming, find school locations, and read the latest news. Stay connected with all your favorite social networking sites. Download it today for free.
My name is Lieutenant Colonel Frank Barrow. I'm the Director of Army Instruction for the whole district. We're very excited to have you. This is going to be, I think, the most fun event that you're going to do over these next few days. But it also has the potential, if you don't pay attention, to get hurt on, all right? Pay attention to what we say and what we do. But today, we've got over 100 students, and these young people are learning how to tie themselves in and then to negotiate a 40-foot straight-down tower.
It's not gonna go all the way up. I'm too fat.
Hurry up.
Hey, I'm doing fat. I think it's stuck. I'm too fat for this. It was intimidating looking up at the giant tower. And they gave you a lot of training prior to harnessing up. And they taught you the safety and what to say when you get on the tower and when you get off the tower.
Most of us have a natural fear of heights. Nearly everybody does. And from this perspective, when you look up that tower, it doesn't look so bad. But from 40 feet up, when you start to see the bay, you see the airfield to our west, there's a natural fear that takes over, because to lean over that edge, most of these children have never done that. And I did it when I was a young person about their age. And by overcoming that fear and realizing that if you trust in your adult leadership, trust in yourself, and have confidence in your equipment, then you can negotiate other things, other challenges in life that might make you afraid. And so this is the first step in that process.
Can't be my partner going scared. Don't go scared. Don't go scared.
I like to be active.
Come on, let's go.
I like the experience of when you have to jump down towers. It's like a adrenaline rush.
I
I don't want you possum me, so listen to what I'm saying, okay?
All right, let's.
People who don't listen, they possum. I'm telling you, everybody.
Like when you first get up there, you probably gonna be scared. You're gonna have the jitterbugs. But when you finally get up there, and you're like, oh, I'm finna do it. I'm just finna do it. Like you shouldn't punk out and go all the way down when you came all the way up them stairs. Like they'd be like you have to go all the way back down the stairs. That'd be a waste of time. The fastest way down is just going rappelling. So once you get up there, you just don't think about it. Turn your back towards the air. Turn your back towards the ground, and then push off.
Let me tighten you back a little bit for you so you don't feel too nervous. Okay. Put that one behind you like I told you. On your waist. All right, watch me. Now go back towards the edge. Get your heel over the edge. Look at me. Get your heel over the edge. Trust me. No, don't step over.
Said the heel.
Get your heel over the head, the back part of your foot. Spread them a little wider apart. Now keep your legs straight. Okay. What you're going to do is sit down just like you sit down in a chair at your house. You ready?
All right.
All right, that's what you're going to do. Because we got to get this slack up. Hey, don't bend your knees.
All right, wait.
Don't bend your knees.
All right, pull me back.
No, you good. Don't bend your knees. You see what I told you? You're not going to fall. No. Walk back up. Walk back up towards me. All right. Straighten your legs. There you go. Now, when you want to move, you're going to take the rope in your right hand and you're going to bring it out to the side so you get some slack. Get some more slack, Top. Go.
All right, you ready?
All right, stay right there. Bounce. Jump. Now, I didn't say move. I didn't say jump. Hold the rope tight in your right hand. Jump. Now, release it in your right hand next time you jump.
All right.
There you go. All right, have fun. Go on. Hey, bring your right hand out to the side. Go to the side. There you go.
The wall was fun. I went down twice. I raced the second time. I got beat bad. But just got to keep doing it over and over. We get better. I wasn't scared or nothing. Just do it. Don't think about it. Just go. Jump. Don't worry about it. Don't even look down. If you look down, you ain't gonna go. So just jump. When you get down, keep your legs straight, jump off, push off.
My first time on the tower was nerve-wracking. It was intimidating looking up at the giant tower. And they gave you a lot of training prior to harnessing up, and they taught you the safety and what to say when you get on the tower and when you get off the tower.
Step down to the edge.
On the very top of the tower, it was nerve-wracking. I tried to remember everything. I did have to get a little walkthrough while I was up there. When I first went up there, I was really scared. Like, I couldn't make it up the stairs because the height got to me. And then I looked down, and that was a very bad decision. When I got up there and got all harnessed up, it got better. My nerves calmed down a little bit. And then when I got on the ledge, I fell and I possumed, but I guess it's normal. And then he told me to keep looking at the wall and just keep my eyes forward. It was very scary, but it was fun.
It's no surprise that the University of South Alabama's College of Education can prepare you for an exciting career in public education. But it may surprise you that this same College of Education can prepare you for an exciting career in a broad variety of fields, like these. Contact us today and let us show you the world of career opportunities that are yours through USA's College of Education.
Everybody ready to have a good time today?
Huh?
I mean, this is the first time you've been in the woods. Raise your hand. Okay. See, you're learning something new. What we're doing here is we've got the junior ROTC camp going on, and we have the students out here, and we're teaching land nav. We have the land nav course teaching them how to read a map, what's on a map, what it's all about, and then we do a practical exercise to let them use what they've learned this afternoon by going through and walking through the woods.
A lot of our students in Mobile County never been in the forest, ever, particularly the ones that live in the city. And you get up into Sims, Citronelle, well, that may be they're more comfortable with that type of scenario. But a young person who lives in Midtown and goes to Murphy High School, they may have never ever set foot in a forest, not much different than this, but all by themselves.
I don't like the woods. I'm not a woods type of girl. I'd rather be jumping off a cliff than in the woods. I can't do it. I got irritated. I ain't even gonna tell them stuff. I got irritated.
Everybody got their maps out? All right, go.
We just don't throw them out in the forest. You've got alligators, moccasins, and other critters out there, and it's a step-by-step process. First thing they do is to learn the basic fundamentals of how to read a map. Things like the map is always oriented toward north. At the top of the map is always north.
Do you know where we're going?
The mountains are like these little circle pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Like wherever you see a complete circle like that right there, that's a mountain. This is a mountain.
They then take the compass and then adjust that to be able to read the terrain. A topographical map, if you lay it out, everything that you see in front of you, the two-dimensional view on the paper with those contour intervals becomes three-dimensional when you look at it. And that's the whole objective, is get them to realize it's sort of an aha moment. I see that hill rise and recognize that's a hill formation. Or I see this example on our left here, this depression over here, that is going to be a stream bed or an intermittent stream. Once they learn those techniques, then they learn about how to shoot azimuths with their compass, and if they have to go from point A to point B, given a set of circumstances, they can do that safely by either going directly following a compass or find a better route to negotiate around very difficult terrain to get to that point faster.
We've got power lines, the grain elevators, the East Tower Bridge, the power plant, and RSA Tower.
So a crawl, walk, run type scenario that they will be training on. And they will have adult supervision during this because it is a skill set that for the first time it can be difficult. And we're trying to cram a lot into a day.
All right, go ahead and get out your water now, and let's drink your first bottle of water. Everybody get your water. Where's your water at? Everybody needs water. Let's get water now. We're going to start early and often. Early and often.
Water bottles, we have to at least have 2 water bottles on us. After we get done having 2 water bottles on us, they'll form us up, and then we have to drink. We have to take out 1 water bottle, put it above our head.
It was a really big deal. Like, you had to take it out every 5 minutes pretty much and drink the whole bottle, cap it, and raise it above your head. And then you had to fall out and go fill it back up at the water buffalo, and then do it again in 5 minutes.
They are going to get the water whether they want it or not because they need to stay hydrated, and they're not unsure of what they're going to do until we get it squared away. But at this time, what I want you to do is make sure that you're going to fall out of this water buffalo. I want you to fill up your jugs of water, your bottles of water, and then I want you to come back and get in a mass formation again. We'll break you down. It should take no more than 3 minutes for you to do this task. Safety is our main priority out here, to teach them something, to teach them the land and what all it has to offer, the benefits of living out on nature, but also being safe. And hydration is so safe, keeping them hydrated so they can function and do what they're supposed to.
It's a good experience for people who ain't never been to the woods because it lets you see nature. Get you by the water, get you by the trees, plants, animals. Yeah, it's a good experience.
I learned a lot of new land navigation skills and how to use a compass, but there were a lot of bugs.
When they go to basic training, they're going to do the exact same thing they're doing here. So it's probably 90% exactly what they're going to do while they're in basic training. The only difference is maybe the compass may be a little different in basic training than we have out here, but other than that, they're equal. It's just a little different, but it's good training, and they'll be prepared to walk through the woods, lead a map, and get themselves to safety one day if they have to. Yeah, I think it's great for the kids to learn nature, so so many times they're in the classrooms, they're in buildings, and we probably had 30% had never been in the woods or in a park before. So it's a different experience for them to learn something new and different, and maybe something that they like. We was given a great earth to live on, and now they're getting to see the different part of it. Besides building and concrete, they're getting to see trees and the different aspects of being out in the nature and what it has to offer as well.
Hey, how was work?
Great.
You need to just cut it down. What's the status?
Network's up 100%.
Hi, how was your weekend?
It was great.
In the Army Reserve, all it takes is 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year to get the skills, training, and strength of being in the Army.
Nonviolence will start with me.
Nonviolence will start with me.
All across the Mobile County public school system, students are taking the pledge.
I pledge to accept the responsibility of my actions.
To solve problems peacefully.
Respect myself and others.
The 100 Days of Nonviolence Pledge. It's an initiative to help explore alternative means of stopping violence among school students. Will you take the challenge? Get involved. Take a stand. 100 Days, 100 Ways.
So at this time, anybody who needs to get changed, go down and get changed, and then at this time I want everybody to move inside the pool area and then move to this side over here in one mass formation. Then we're going to separate you from swimmers to non-swimmers.
The first thing that happens is we divide the groups into the company into three different groups, skill sets. Those who say, I don't swim at all, have no idea what I'm doing. Second group is an intermediate group. They have some skill sets, but don't necessarily feel comfortable in very deep water. And then you got those kids that I can swim all day long, let me at it.
I can't swim, so I was down trying to learn how to swim. We had to use our feet like frogs. He made us do the frog exercise, where you have to put your foot in and then slap it out. Like point your toes down and then slap your foot around.
It was difficult. I couldn't do it. I got halfway down and my ears popped and I was gone. Drum proofing was fun. You just had to know how to keep the air in your suit and be able to take your ACUs off underwater.
A lot of people are unaware, but an Army uniform, or really any set of clothing, particularly long pants or a long sleeve shirt, can be used to save your life in the event that you fall overboard a ship. You could be on a cruise ship, you could be down at the river, if you fell in just doing some fishing on the bank. And we teach them while they're standing in 3 or 4 foot water, so they're comfortable doing that. We teach them how they can make these makeshift life preservers and survive a difficult circumstance. The intermediate swimmers then go on to learn some more advanced swimming techniques. You know, the breaststroke, some other survival strokes that can help you. And then the advanced swimmers are taught how to, if you have a piece of equipment that's important, like we use dummy rifles, we use dummy equipment where you went into the water in the deep end at 12 foot, you go down and you release that equipment and come back up, or you swim with that equipment for a certain distance. Those are actual military requirements for to become an officer in the Army, for example. You have to be able to swim at least at a minimal level.
Okay, now, hero, listen. Rifle is at the bottom, you understand? What school are you at? MGM. That's an outstanding school. Are you ready to go get that rifle? Make me proud, hero. Make me proud. Go get it.
We were told to go get a rifle from the bottom of the pool, like swim to it. The water was so deep. It was difficult. I couldn't do it. Well, prior to learning drum proofing, we took 6 classes on like combat. We had like a combat wound training, a grenade throwing training, which were really helpful.
In another class, they taught us how to do the carry a partner and stuff like that, like hold up one arm, put that arm around your head, then lift them up from the bottom, like put your hand between their legs and lift them up and carry them back and forth.
Hey, y'all listen up.
All right, so this is halt. This is break, like off to the side, you go to the opposite side that the person in front of you went. This is come back together into one line.
Learning hand signals for when you were like out in the field and you were told to like stop and get down real fast. You're learning the hand signals for that. They're pretty simple hand signals. I caught on real fast.
And you wouldn't put them back inside, why?
Because it would make an infection.
Cause more infection because you're putting that bacteria back in the body. So you put it above the wound and then apply the dressing the way I showed you.
The class was actually fun too. Even when it came down to the salute and the learning about the injuries. Because if you have an open wound, hey, I can take care of you if you got an open wound.
When I first joined the Army, I was very nervous.
We didn't know what they would have them doing. But Bobby always had a plan.
With unmatched training in over 150 careers beyond the battlefield, there are over 150 surprising ways to become Army strong. Talk to your son or daughter about opportunities in the Army.
Today is sports day.
I will say, on your mark, get set, pull. You gotta jump up, grab the rope, and pull in that direction.
It's kind of like the fun free day. We're having squad drills and we're just playing a lot of team sports.
Get set! Pull!
Go, 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 go. I'm only gonna film it.
Different activities like competitions, soccer, we'll be doing volleyball, frisbee, just different drill competitions, just different competitions, you know, to see who's the better person, come out as the top dog. I decided to come to this camp, you know, to have a better knowledge, a better learning about different things, like about nature. It's just to better myself and to know, you know, to be aware of stuff and how to do stuff.
Meeting the new people was pretty fun, and learning all these new skills to help me when I do pursue my future in the Army. That's great. And just having a lot of fun with my fellow cadets.
This is the first time in the history of Mobile that we've had the opportunity to do a camp locally. We still prefer to go to Fort McClellan. I want to be pretty clear about that, because the one component we miss is the mixing up with kids from Huntsville, from Birmingham, from Enterprise, from across the state. And typically what happens at Fort McClellan is they're integrated. You've got, all of a sudden I'm the only kid from Mobile in this platoon, a platoon of maybe 30 people. And they have to learn then at the age of 15 and 16 how to socialize with people that you've never met before. That's a big deal at that age. Adults have an easier time of it. But to socialize and then come together very quickly as a team, because you're put in leadership positions throughout there. That part was a little more challenging because we did it within the schools, but not, we're all from the same area. But I will say without a doubt, that this was the best group of kids I've ever had a chance to work with. We didn't have a single issue in terms of discipline with any of those kids that are here. They're all outstanding young people. They represent their schools very well, and it's just been a lot of fun to work with them so far, and look forward to the rest of the week with them.
High school students, are you looking for a way to become a better leader? Then the Junior Officers Training Corps may be what you're seeking. If you would like to develop self-reliance, learn ways to be more responsible, and improve your communication skills, you can do that and more when you register for the Junior Officers Training Corps. The JROTC program is available to all high school students in Mobile County. JROTC, we build a better you.
What's the matter, baby? You're not feeling good?
School-age children are at a higher risk of getting and spreading germs and viruses. To help protect the spread, students are encouraged to stay home when sick. Parents, it's important for your child to remain at home at least 24 hours after they no longer have a fever of 100 degrees or higher without the use of medications. Please help us maintain a healthy learning environment.
Our children with special needs deserve a place to play. That is why we are coming together to build the Miracle League of West Mobile Schmidt Family Park. It will include a special needs ball field and playground, regulation baseball and softball fields, and more. We have raised more than $1 million and construction will start soon. But we need your help to complete the project. Visit MCPSS.com/Miracle League to donate and to learn more. Any dollar amount will help bring a smile to a child's face. Together, we can make a miracle.
Each month, more than 90 guns are reported stolen from unlocked vehicles, creating the potential of serious injury or death.
Lock it up.
Many violent acts and crimes are committed with stolen guns.
Lock it up.
According to ATF, stolen guns pose a substantial threat to public safety.
Lock it up.
Be responsible. Take time to record your handgun serial number and secure it from thieves. Lock it up.
Lock it up for me.
Perfection is on the line tonight for the 13-0 Scarborough Knights as they face a familiar foe they defeated twice during the regular season, the Clark Shaw Eagles, who are 13-2. Will the Eagles fly high and capture the large division boys championship, or will the Knights be crowned champions? Good evening and welcome to a special edition of Tuesday Night Hoops on the MCPSS Television Network. I'm Corey LeBounty, joined by Bishop State Community College Athletic Director and head men's basketball coach Trent Eager. Coach, we are expecting to see a phenomenal large division championship game.
Yeah, this is going to shape up to be a big-time game, and I'm really excited about it.
It's hard to beat a team twice, but beating them 3 times is almost impossible. We saw in our last game a perfection made by Scarborough Model Middle School's Lady Knights. They finished the season undefeated. The boys are trying to do the same.
Absolutely. And right now, Clark Shaw, their only 2 losses on the season are to Scarborough, so they're looking to avenge those losses.
Great action coming your way in this large division championship. Buckle up because it's going to be a great one. The Scarborough Knights and Coach Frazier in his first year as head coach has his Knights 13-0. Last year he was the assistant coach. He coaches football, baseball, and basketball. His team averages 55 points per game And as the assistant coach, he watched his team lose last year in the championship game to Pillins. Douglas July Jr., he's in his 4th season as head coach of the Clark Shaw Eagles. 2nd year math teacher there. Again, his team 13-2. Coach July Jr. has been the head coach at Murphy and BC Rain. So it's going to be an outstanding contest, Coach, and already you can see the defensive intensity being revved up.
Yeah, Coach July has been around quite a bit in the game, up and down the sidelines as a head coach. So right now, we would think, and that would be a little bit of a key matchup for him.
And we'll see here, Clark Shaw play with more toughness out of that second game as we see the first shot missed from the right wing by Arian Bryson Jr. And handling the rock, Taylon Bumpers, the guard, he's going to get it to his teammate Desmond Young, and it's going to be knocked away and controlled by London and Xavier Powell. A lot of length and size by both of these teams. 3-ball left corner up and no good by Desmond Young, and it will be tapped out of bounds last by Clark Shaw.
Yeah, I tell you do like to see guys competing. Right there, 2 teammates were competing for the same rebound. That's how it went out of bounds. So it's good to see that early on in the game.
And we'll see what kind of defense Clark Shaw decides to come out with. As you can see, the tremendous length of Terrell Milton, 6'5", 8th grader. So they'll go high-low. The full court pressure being applied here by Scarborough and Coach Frazier. 1-2-1-1. Trying to beat that 10 count. Clark Shaw throws over the top to Josiah Thomas. And Thomas skips it across court, right wing 3-pointer up, and no good by Desmond Young. In transition, quickly goes Justin Lawrence, and he's able to find his teammate, Karan Williams, for 2. Full court pressure being applied and trying to dribble through the press. A turnover, 2 turnovers, one by Scarborough and the other one by Clark Shaw. Clark Shaw gets it back here, handling this pressure in the backcourt. We'll see if a 10-second violation will be called. Able to get it across. Mismatch 2-on-1 inside layup by Blake Phillips is up and good, and I call him the round mound of rebound for Clark Shaw. Very solid in stature.
Yeah, he's a really active, maybe undersized, but he makes up for it in strength and activity.
Plays a little forward and center. A left drive, scoop up, and no good by Hunter. Jerrion Hunter, and we'll have our first team foul of the game. And our first sub, you can see the great nifty looking pass and a great finish on the fast break there by Karan Williams. You
can tell guard play is going to be really important in this game, as there's going to be a lot of pressure, a lot of up and down the floor. So guard play is going to be key in controlling the ball and controlling the game.
And then you saw Phillips being able to finish underneath as defensive strategy here. Doesn't look like a man-to-man. Nice soft turnaround jumper by London Xavier Powell. The 8th grade forward is able to cash in. And Clark Shaw with no full court pressure, screening this zone. Right corner 3-pointer up and good by Justin Lawrence, the 5'4", 8th grader. 5-4 our score. And behind the back goes Bumpers. Finds it across to B.J. Nobles. And a little high-low action. Turnaround jumper up and no good by Phillips. And now it will be the Knights basketball. Handling it for them is Lawrence. Lawrence keeping his dribble alive. Gets it inside to his post player, Terrell Milton. And Milton is going to be fouled on the play. 51-31, Scarborough won the first game on November 14th. 58-54 at Clark Shaw on December 12th. So a notice improvement. We talked about this being the 3rd matchup of the year, and Clark Shaw played with much more toughness in that second game.
Yeah, every time you see a team, you get a chance to make adjustments, and I think that's what Coach July is going to be looking to do right here in this game. Playing them 3 times, losing to them. That second time was a closer game. We'll see if he can keep it a closer game right here and have a chance to win at the end.
Chrysander Lewis, the 7th grade forward, checking in for Scarborough, and they're going to get it directly to Lewis, and he's able to cash in. Blackston Jr. scores 2 points easily for the Knights. And Clark Shaw trying to handle this aggressive pressure of Scarborough. Right wing three-pointer up and no good by Young. Offensive rebound and put up by Xavier Powell is no good. And we're going to have a foul that will be going the length of the floor now.
That foul is going to be on Blake. That's going to be his second foul early in this game.
And checking in for Clark Shaw now will be Lewis. As I mentioned earlier, 24 in white is Jamarcus Blackston Jr. Half-court offense by Scarborough trying to screen that zone, keeping the ball alive. A left wing three-pointer up and no good by Hunter. And it's going to be turned over here. And Coach July just talking to his guys. 7-4 our score. That three-point shot being the difference so far. Scarborough now with Milton handling the point guard duties. And it's an easy two for Scarborough.
That's really tough at 6'5". If he's able to bring the ball down and initiate your offense and get in the middle of the floor, that's going to be hard to stop. So that's probably something that Scarborough is going to keep doing, keep going to.
Great job of attacking the rim by Desmond Young, but great verticality by the defender, going straight up and straight down without fouling. And 9-4 is our score with Clark Shaw getting ready to inbound the basketball baseline out of bounds. Coach July does a great job with his offensive out-of-bounds sets. Not able to capitalize there, and showing the handles is Milton. And he is going to get it out to his teammate, Bryson Jr. A little bit short on that jump shot. And checking in now for Clark Shaw, Mikael Warren. Coach Clark Shaw just needs to find a way to get some high-low action going or find the middle of this zone defense. Like you said, the ball going side to side is the best way to do that.
They do. They've got to find a way to penetrate this zone and get the ball in, as they did right there. Came up with the and one, got it to London.
London, it's Xavier Powell with the hoop and the harm, the and one. He's in the center of that zone, folks. You can see him at the top of the key, drops from the free throw line right into the open area of that zone and is able to convert. Free throws have been the story of our first three games, yesterday and the earlier game today. Free throws that were missed and not made.
Yeah, that's something that teams have to really capitalize on, because it keeps the game close. Even when you're not shooting well or you're just not in rhythm, but you're making free throws, you stay closer in the game.
And converting right there on the and one opportunity is London and Xavier Powell. And skipping it across for a three-point attempt. Up and no good by Ruggs. And it's a 50-50 ball controlled by Drake Wright. And he's going to get it out to Bumpers. Bumpers looking to attack. Little between the legs action. Clearing it and bringing it back up to the top for B.J. Nobles. Left corner three-pointer up and no good by Bumpers. Rebounded by Lawrence. And Lawrence surveying the floor. Nice one-handed left-handed pass there to Hunter, goes out of bounds.
Yeah, just couldn't come up with it, but it was a really good find. He was wide open there. That pass just came off his fingertips.
And, Coach, 2 team fouls apiece here with 21.7 seconds remaining. Clark Shaw, I think they'll hold here for one. That way Scarborough can't get out in transition and score a cheap basket.
Yeah, you want to try to control the game right here, get the last shot. You're only down one possession. You don't want to give them a chance to go up, get the ball back, and go up 2 possessions.
Left-handed shot up and no good by Bumpers with 2 seconds remaining, coming across half court. The pull-up three off the back of the rim by Lawrence, And at the end of the first quarter, our score, the Scarborough Knights 9, the Clark-Shaw Eagles 7. We'll be right back for second quarter action.
If you look at the numbers, Mobile County Public Schools is making great strides. With more than 53,000 students, 7,000 employees, and 90 schools, we are consistently increasing our 4-year graduation rate and our first-class pre-K program. We continue to strive for national recognition and continue to prepare our students for the global workforce. And we do all of this with one goal in mind, to equip and empower college and career-ready graduates. Mobile County Public Schools. We're learning today, leading tomorrow.
Second quarter action coming up here on the campus of Mattie T. Blunt High School, the large division championship of boys basketball. Don't forget to follow the social media platforms that are available for the Mobile County Public Schools at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X, formerly known as Twitter. A lot of the comings and goings and what's going on with the school from a social media standpoint, especially last week for those updates at home when we had the snowstorm to hit our area. Great ways to follow on social media for all up-to-date action on all the schools in Mobile County. Clark-Shaw with possession of the basketball here to start the second quarter of action, and they get it inside to their big fella, London Xavier Powell, and he's going to be fouled.
Yeah, they've got to continue to do that. Get that ball in the middle of the floor, actually attack Milton as well as the basket as much as possible. Right there, Milton picked up that foul. London Xavier Powell is going to the line.
And again, if Xavier Powell is able to go ahead and make free throws, what a great bonus that'll be for this young man. We saw him have an and-one opportunity earlier, and he misses that one. As you take a look at Dr. Crenshaw here on the front row, checking out one of our school board members here in the Mobile County Public School System. Right next to him, Dr. Lev Holly, the assistant athletic director here as well, checking out some great action here. And there's off the missed free throw, a great offensive rebound put back by Bumpers. We're knotted up at 9 here with 5:40 remaining. And screening the top of this zone is Clark-Shaw, just trying to buckle down defensively. A three-pointer from the right wing, up and no good by Bryson Jr. Offensive rebound, though. You see those 50-50 and second chance opportunities. Karan Williams trying to cash in.
Yeah, usually bad things happen for you on defense. If you give up offensive rebounds, good things happen for you on offense. And that time, he got fouled, going to the line.
And having an opportunity to cash in here, makes that free throw, does Williams. And you look at that spin move as Powell gets caught swatting at it. Only his first personal foul. The second free throw up and no good. And tracked down by Bumpers, bringing the ball across half court for the Eagles. He's going to find his teammate Young on the right wing. Circles out, tries to get it to Powell. Last touched. It looks to be last touched by Clark-Shaw. And one of those unforced turnovers.
They're going to do their best to get the ball out of Lawrence's hands, and that's going to be really smart because he really makes Scarborough go.
Another turnover unforced by Scarborough. And Coach Frazier, he's going to go to his bench and bring in Peyton Ruggs. Ruggs checks in for Williams. And Clark-Shaw now trailing by 1, going the length of the floor against this zone defense. Right wing three-pointer up and good by Warren. Gives Clark-Shaw a 2-point lead.
He shot that one in rhythm. They looked like they knew what they were doing when they get that ball to him in the corner. Got back, set their defense, and they're hard at Lawrence.
Clark-Shaw forces a turnover, pushing the ball is Bumpers. Bumpers coast to coast. Left-handed layup missed, and now Lawrence, he now clears it for Scarborough. He's looking to go coast to coast, tries a jump stop. It's going to have it stripped away. The outlet out to Bumpers. Bumpers now, he's going to be fouled, and it's going to just be a hard foul. You earn your keep there, does Bryson Jr., the 6'8" grader, with the hard foul, and Mike Medry coming over to see if they're going to call an intentional. And, Coach, on this replay, I think it may be an intentional because he grabbed him in the air.
Yeah, that's going to be a good chance for that. They may think about this when we talk about it because he came from behind him and actually grabbed. It's not as much of a play on the ball. We know they've got a foul, but this one is questionable, as they did call the intentional.
It is going to be upgraded to an intentional foul. And what you have with an intentional foul, the difference between an intentional and a technical is you'll go from the point of interruption, which you will have 2 shots here coming up for Clark Shaw, and Bumpers will have an opportunity to cash in. And Frazier's talking to Mike Medry, Coach Frazier talking to Mike Medry over there about the call, or rather Alec Granderson about the call. And that second free throw up and no good. And you go from the point of interruption, which is baseline out of bounds. You just really, free throws again, Bumpers needed to cash in.
Yeah, free throws are a way for you also not only to stay in games, but to also separate yourself. Right now, they were up 12-10. Make those 2 free throws and get the ball back. They could really be looking at being up 6 or 7.
3 ball from the left corner up and no good. Offensive rebounded by Young. Young in the paint. Timeout. We'll see if he's going to be granted a jump ball first before July Jr. was able to call the timeout. And the possession arrow does favor the Scarborough Knights. Corey LeBounty along with Trent Eager, the head men's basketball coach and athletic director of Bishop State Community College, joining you for this exciting boys large division championship middle school action. And being on the baseline out of bounds is Freishon Jr. Freishon Jr. has 2 fouls already called against him. As substituting in will be Jamarcus Blackston Jr. in for Freishon Jr.
It's got to be a luxury when you can substitute size for more size.
Absolutely. And Coach July Jr. trying to take advantage of his speedy guards, but here comes that full court pressure. A diamond and 1. Look by Scarborough. Want to stay out of those corners because you'll get trapped or tied up. And he steps on the out of bounds lines, does B.J. Nobles.
Yeah, they seem to even be turning up their pressure once you do cross half. They're guiding you to that sideline and pushing you to that extra defender.
And that's a place you want to stay, Coach. You break it up into thirds, the middle third and the outside thirds. Always the middle of the floor, the most dangerous spot is a nice one-handed pass inside to the big fella, Blackston Jr., making his impact felt off the bench. And here comes that diamond and 1 press, speeding up Clark. Desmond Young, left-handed layup up and no good, but he's going to be fouled. And it will be a blocking foul called against Blackston Jr.
I'll tell you, Clark Shaw has done a really good job of actually not settling just for jump shots, attacking that pressure as well as the basket. And you definitely want to keep doing that. Now, they do need to capitalize and make it work for them, making layups and free throws.
The Knights, their biggest strength is their aggressiveness. And so far, they have committed 3 team fouls. And cashing in at the free throw line, you look at the heads-up play by Justin Lawrence, keeping his head up, the nice one-handed dish over to Blackston Jr. in the paint, cashing in, and second free throw up and rattles in and out. And one thing I'm noticing about Lawrence, he does a great job of keeping his head up at all times. And it's going to be dribbled off of his foot.
Yeah, he really does scan the floor a lot and sees everybody. He sees the next pass and even the pass after that. So he does a really good job of that.
Diamond and 1, full court press again, trying to push Clark to those sidelines to where they're able to trap. And there will be a foul called against the Knights.
Now that's going to be 4 fouls. Now the next one, they're going to be in the bonus already. So that's going to give Clark Shaw a chance to actually be more aggressive, get to the line because they're in the bonus. So either way, they're going to be shooting a shot or free throws.
Jerrion Hunter already being called. And as we take a look in the middle of that screen there, we see Coach Trent Eager's daughter, one of Clark Shaw cheerleaders there cheering on her team. And a left wing 3-pointer up and no good by Young. And Scarborough and Lawrence surveying the floor, and it will be a timeout, a 30-second timeout being called by Coach Frazier. Right there is your daughter, Coach, and you have to be very proud of her spirit for her school.
Very proud. She's the team captain, and she does a really good job of that. She's really dedicated, stays up late at night with homework, and talks about cheer all the rest of the time.
And Coach, I tell you, she's had double duty today. As, again, the girls were in the championship game earlier against the Scarborough Lady Knights, and she'll be hoarse when she gets home tonight.
Yeah, she should sleep well tonight.
Plenty of action here, 13-12. Great game going as you get a great look there of Coach Frazier. Again, assistant coach 1 year ago. His first year as the head boys coach. His team averages 55 points per game and trying to avenge last year's championship loss versus Pillins. They also do community service projects, do the Knights, so you love the fact that they give back to their community as well and are being taught by Coach Frazier to give back to the community.
Yeah, it's always good to see coaches teach their kids that they're more than just basketball players or student athletes. They have a big role within the community and within what they do within the school community as well. So it's good. Kudos to him for doing that.
And we haven't called Terrell Milton's name a lot for Scarborough. He is number 2 in white at the center of this zone, but it's height versus height that's taking it away. And as I mentioned that, there he is with a turnaround, and it's that announcer jinx. As soon as you talk about somebody, they pop up on your screen.
He popped up on your screen, and now he's at the free throw line. He did a really good job of making himself vacant and open and got that ball at the basket. They had to foul him. Now he's got 2 shots.
I can bet you this, though, Coach. Being 6'5", he's not used to seeing too many other 6'5" players standing right alongside of him, length for length, as London Xavier Powell, number 15 for Clark Shaw, is also matching him from a length standpoint.
No, I'm sure he doesn't see too many, as he's the only guy on his team that way. So he's going to see a lot of different matchups and everything. And we've seen him do a lot of different matchups as he's brought the ball down the floor.
And there's going to be a foul against Clark Shaw as off of that missed free throw opportunity, one of those 50-50 loose balls. When you don't box out, that happens. 13-13 our score. And Scarborough has committed 14 fouls. Clark Shaw with only 2, and an out-of-bounds play not being able to be executed there. And quickly, Clark Shaw keeping the head up, bumpers, trying to avoid that trap. And they're going to get a deflection and a steal. A nice bounce pass, advancing it ahead. And there's going to be a foul as Jerrion Hunter does a great job of running the floor, but Frazier does a great job of, Justin Lawrence does a great job of finding him on that bounce pass.
Yeah, he does a really good job of not only finding guys, but delivering the right pass. I know earlier we talked about one just went off his teammate's hands, but that pass was just right there, just some miscommunication, just missed it. Right there, he delivered the right pass for him to go up. He just got fouled on it.
Baseline out of bounds for Scarborough, and they're used to being able to score at will there. A 3-point opportunity off glass, up and no good by Hunter. And keeping the dribble alive for Clark Shaw is Young. Young is going to swing it along to his big fella, Phillips. And you want to go back to Phillips, let him utilize his strength, and he turns it over, trying to find his teammate, Xavier Powell. And kind of one of those bailout calls there is you never want to leave your feet to make a pass because you're unsure of what you want to do with it, but bailed out on the pass. July Jr. trying to figure out exactly what the official saw in that situation.
Yeah, he left his feet and looks like, the trail guy may have gotten him in the back with a hand, and he's going up for 2 shots.
And 2 free throws being attempted here by Justin Lawrence, the 5'4" 8th grader, and checking in for Clark Shaw, Mikael Warren. 13-13 our score. 5 team fouls called against Clark Shaw, 4 against Scarborough. And here's Justin Lawrence's second free throw up and good. And 1 point lead now for Scarborough, jumping into this diamond and one full court press. Getting into the middle, reversing over. Great job of breaking the press. Bumpers just want to stay out of the corner. And he gets out of the corner, picks up his dribble, and skips it up to the top to Drake Wright, who finds his teammate on the left wing. Young, his three-pointer up and no good. And Lawrence pushing the ball up the floor for Scarborough. Way to split the defenders, not able to convert, and it's a loose ball, jump ball in between Xavier Powell along with Milton. And the possession arrow does favor Clark Shaw.
The 6'5" guys at both ends are battling. London, Xavier Powell, and Milton, they're battling around the basket. And you love to see that matchup.
Breaking that pressure and retreating is Drake Wright. And he's going to get it to Desmond Young, who tries to reset the offense. A screen, high screen was denied, but it's tipped over to Mikael Warren. Looking for Xavier Powell, unable to find him, and coming away with the turnover for the Knights is Williams. A deep three, up and no good. Big offensive rebound by Milton, and he's going to have an and-one opportunity. A great job of the big fella, crashing the glass, cleaning the windows, and finishing up the trash that came off of the rim.
Yeah, offensive rebounds are key, and he picked up a really good offensive rebound and made a really good and strong move right there. Made the basket as well as drew the second foul or third foul on London Xavier Powell. So that's going to be big for Clark Shaw. Let's see how Scarborough is able to capitalize on that.
And offensive rebound off of the missed free throw, last touch by Clark Shaw. But when you have the length that Scarborough does have, you talk about subbing height for height, Blackston Jr. along with Milton. That's a low down on the post.
Yeah, that is. That's going to be tough for them because although they may miss it, they're just throwing it up and going to get it and finish it again.
And that's going to be 2 shots because we are in the double bonus. And 2 shots here for Jerion Hunter, the 5'8", 8th grader for Scarborough, going back to the line trying to convert here. And his first free throw up and true, extending the lead to 4. And Coach, if I'm not mistaken, I think 4 points is the largest lead of this game so far.
So far, it is. So it's been a really nip and tuck game going back and forth, and right now this is the biggest lead.
Second free throw up and good as well. And those free throws coming at a great opportune time.
Yeah, that's what we talk about. Those free throws are key. You can continue to just kind of walk away from a team and extend your lead with those free throws.
Handling the pressure is Bumpers. Bumpers gets it to the left wing to Drake Wright, who travels on the call. And with 30.3 seconds, Scarborough Knights trying to extend this 5-point lead. And Clark Shaw wants to play without fouling here to end the quarter.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to give up any more easy baskets, but you also don't want to give up any cheap foul or anything, give up any more free throws as well.
And we are going to have a hold. The hold is going to be called against Drake Wright, right in the middle of the floor at the free throw line. Now, it can be a smart foul here if Justin Lawrence goes to the line and misses any of these 2 free throws. As you can see, the great form by Justin knocking it down.
As he looks really smooth and really calm stepping up to that line, made that first one. Got to have a lot of confidence making that second one right now.
And you want to make sure you box out here if he does miss the 50-50 loose balls. 5 team fouls called against Clark Shaw, 4 against Scarborough. Taking his time, Justin Lawrence, 5'4", 8th grader, second one up and good. And playing without fouling is going to be critical for Scarborough. And there's that in the backcourt foul by Lawrence.
Yeah, that's a bad foul right there that sends them to the line for 2 shots to get them a little bit closer. Being down 7 right now, they could get it back to 5, and that's a lot better going into the half. You would love to keep it there at 5 if you can get it there.
Want to find a way here to convert, and able to hit nothing but the bottom of the net. Taylon Bumpers, 8th grader, doing a phenomenal job for Douglas July Jr. His second one up and no good. 10 seconds remaining. Clark Shaw doesn't want to foul here to end the quarter. Wide open underneath, layup up and in for Blackston Jr. And the largest lead of the game is 22-14. 22-14 is our halftime score as the Scarborough Knights lead the Clark Shaw Eagles here at Mattie T. Blunt High School. And I will say this, Coach, it has been a very exciting first half of action here in this large division championship. We were at 9-7 at the end of the first quarter, and it just looks like the second chance opportunities and the turnovers, a quick scoring spurt for Scarborough led them to this lead.
Defense, offensive rebounds, and Justin Lawrence have been the difference in this game for Scarborough.
Justin Lawrence has done a phenomenal job here, and we'll be going to a break here, but we want you to come back. Second half action of this large boys division championship here on MCPSS Television Network coming your way.
Hey Alexa, tell me about Mobile County Public Schools.
With 53,000 students in 90 schools, Mobile County Public Schools equips and empowers college and career-ready graduates. Several MCPSS schools are ranked among Alabama's top 10. Yearly, graduating students earned about $110 million in college scholarships and 10,000 career credentials. MCPSS is learning today, leading tomorrow. Does that answer your question?
Our children with special needs deserve a place to play. That is why we are coming together to build the Miracle League of West Mobile Schmidt Family Park. It will include a special needs ball field and playground, regulation baseball and softball fields, and more. We have raised more than $1 million and construction will start soon. But we need your help to complete the project. Visit mcpss.com/Miracle League to donate and to learn more. Any dollar amount will help bring a smile to a child's face. Together, we can make a miracle.
Do you feel alone, overwhelmed, or helpless?
There's hope. There's hope. Call or text 988.
You don't have to face your crisis alone. If you need a safe space to talk with a trusted adult for support, reach out to your school counselor.
Do you need help to make it through everyday struggles?
Do you need someone to talk to?
Call or text 988. Your social emotional wellness is worth it.
Remember, there's hope, there's help.
Mobile County Public Schools completes about $100 million in school construction each year. And we're looking for new contractors and construction vendors to help us ensure that all students are learning in top-notch facilities. Is your company interested in becoming a construction vendor for Mobile County Public Schools so you can bid on these projects? We need contractors, plumbers, HVAC installers, roofers, electricians, painters, and more. Follow these steps to become a vendor. Number 1, complete the vendor application online. Under System, select Business, and then under Resources, click Vendor Online Application. Number 2, enter the vendor portal. Click Apply to agree to the terms and click Save and Next. Number 3, enter your business information as prompted. A tax ID number or social security number will be required to complete the application. At the bottom of each page, click Save and Next. To find out what projects are currently open for bidding, visit mcpss.com/bid invitation. Follow MCPSS Facilities Facebook page and email facilities to receive notifications. Complete these easy steps, and your company soon may be part of Team MCPSS.
Welcome back to the large division boys championship middle school game here in the Mobile County Public School System, featuring the Clark Shaw Eagles taking on the Scarborough Knights, and it is the Knights up 22-14 at halftime, Coach, and it's really been the Justin Lawrence show here in the first half. He has commanded this game, and I know Douglas July Jr., his game plan early was to find a way to negate the offensive and defensive abilities of the motor for Scarborough.
Yeah, Justin Lawrence makes this Scarborough team go, and you want to try to keep the ball out of his hands as much as possible. He's a threat himself as well as finding other guys, so he really is a big-time threat.
And staying out of foul trouble is something that's going to be critical for both of these teams looking forward to the second half. Free throws and offensive rebounding is something that I know is going to be harped on as well.
Yeah, Scarborough has done a really good job of attacking the basket on every miss, and they've come up with quite a few rebounds, and that's put Clark Shaw in a deficit with that foul trouble and scoring around the basket.
One of the things that we've seen a lot of are these 8th graders who are the class of 2029, a lot of length and great guard play, as well as in the small and large division championship games. So there's a lot of future talent on display and has been on display all season long here in the Mobile County Public School System.
Yeah, you can see a lot of promise in this future. These future classes, these kids are long, athletic, and aggressive, and a lot of them are really skilled as well. So we've seen some really good basketball.
On the campus here at Mattie T. Blunt High School as we get ready to start the second half of action and have an opportunity to see my main man, Al Whedon, who is my broadcast partner during the football season, and he directs traffic for Coach Arrow on Tuesday Night Hoops here on the MCPSS Television Network. His son is on the squad here for the Clark Shaw Eagles, so he's here to watch his son Bryce Whedon play for Clark Shaw. So we want to definitely acknowledge Monique Whedon and Al Whedon in the house here to support the Clark Shaw Eagles.
Looks like we picked up a quick foul right here on Scarborough. Ryan Hunter.
That's going to be an offensive foul, and what you do is you also see Coach Ronnie Arrow, Tuesday Night Hoops, does the color commentary, former South Alabama Jaguars coach. He's my mentor as he carried me around the court at the Omni in Atlanta when South Alabama defeated Alabama on the shot that rolled the Tide. Told me I would give him a hernia if he tried that today. 2 points quickly by Clark Shaw. Josiah Thomas taking advantage of that offensive foul, cutting into this lead here, Coach, 16-22.
Yeah, you don't want to get it all back at once. You don't have to. You just stay in the game, make every possession count. Right now it's a 6-point game, so you're good.
And you can see a little bit of defensive strategy. That's going to be an offensive foul, pushing off Justin Lawrence as the defensive strategy was changed by July. Looked like maybe a boxing one. And Lawrence trying to get free. You can see it right in front of the bench. He flicks the hands up of the defender, Josiah Thomas, offensive foul.
Yeah, you want to keep somebody in his face as much as possible. And right now it looks like Coach July is going to try to harass him.
And Scarborough giving up this three-point shot and make. Talon bumpers a quick 5-0 run to start the third quarter of action as Lawrence showing his usage of his left hand back to his right hand, and there's going to be a blocking foul called against Josiah Thomas, and that is going to be the team's first of the third quarter. But you look at that three ball, nice follow through, nothing but the bottom of the net, cutting this lead to 3 for Scarborough. And it's almost, Coach, it looks like they've almost gone man-to-man here to match up. A three-pointer up and good by Lawrence. You can't stop him. You just want to contain him. But he's able to put a triple on the board for the first 3 points of the third quarter.
Yeah, I think your best defense against Lawrence is to keep it out of his hands.
Josiah Thomas, three ball from the left wing, 25-22. It's raining threes here inside the gymnasium at Mattie T. Blunt, as you get a chance to see back-to-back three-pointers and a turnover created by Clark Shaw. As Clark Shaw inbounds the basketball, looking to get it inside to the big fella. And inside-out game by Clark Shaw, trailing by 3. On the dribble drive is Blake Phillips. up and no good. Loose ball, 50-50 ball. Secured in an outlet pass. Breakaway by the Knights. Up and no good for Hunter, but kept alive by the Knights. Floater, no good. Offensive rebound put back in by Blackston Jr. And to me, he has been that scoring punch for the for the Knights.
Yeah, he's just found a way to be in the right place at the right time. He hasn't done anything special. At the same token, he has 6 big points because he's there for the offensive rebound. He's made himself open and available and got the buckets.
Again, that man-to-man defense being applied. That's going to be a walk. Travel called against Williams. And back and forth, back and forth. In high school, we play 8-minute quarters. Here in middle school, we play 6-minute quarters.
A little bit of a shorter game, but it definitely doesn't take away from the intensity.
Absolutely not. And what's at stake here is perfection for the Scarborough Knights, trying to move to 14-0 and defeat this Clark Shaw team for the 3rd time this season. Great step through by Bumpers, scores 2 more points, and it's back to a 3-point game. Outstanding move. Inadvertent foul, knocked from behind Josiah Thomas. Headsy and crafty move to crouch down and get behind, knowing that the defender's on your back, and make them foul you from behind.
Yeah, Lawrence has some years ahead basketball. That was a really smart, really crafty play. He felt the footsteps behind him. So I'm going to catch this ball and stop right here and slow down. Picked up the foul.
Inbounding a steal by Bumpers. And he's going to try to convert. It's going to be a foul against Hunter. But you can see after actually losing a shoe for Talon Bumpers, great job of showing his defensive tenacity there on the play. And there's Bumpers being fouled. But I like the fact that he's so heads up and continues to attack the rim. Taking his time at the free throw line here. Every free throw going to be critical here down the stretch. And that's one that is left open on the scorebook for Clark Shaw.
Yeah, free throws are always one of those things. You go back and look, open that book late, and it's something you want to get back as he misses both.
That's just big boy basketball.
Rebound. Blake Phillips comes up with a huge offensive rebound, tough rebound, and a finish.
And the steal by Clark Shaw is getting on the floor for it. There's going to be a timeout after the steal. Coach July sensed that his team was going to travel, so he gets the timeout. And it will be a 30-second timeout called by Douglas July Jr. And you love the heads up to know it's 1-point game. Every possession is going to count.
And you know what? To save that possession and right here, get your team settled down, hey, we can come out and run something really good is where we want to be. That's a great job of settling his team.
And Douglas July Jr. is one of the most talented musicians that I've ever seen. His father, Douglas July Sr., here in the stands, a former administrator and educator. Both of them are Alabama State graduates, proudly wearing the black and gold of Alabama State. But like father, like son, I love to see Douglas July Sr. continuing to support his son, and Junior giving props to his dad. But again, the musical ability that July Jr. has is special.
Well, it looks like he's playing strings right now with his team on the floor.
There you go. Orchestrating great sheet music for Clark Shaw with his game plan. And they're down by 1, trying to gain back that lead after trailing 7. And there it is. 2 points for Desmond Young.
Yeah, that was a great drive, great attack, and got the bucket.
Crossing over, trying to distribute to his teammate who's not able to cash in is Milton. And right there, Johnny on the spot. You called it, Blackston Jr. Right place, right time, like you called, Coach.
Yeah, he's just one of those guys that has a knack for the ball. Just knows where to be and in the right place at the right time. The ball finds him.
And that one going to be called against Clark Shaw. It looks like the foul's going to be called against Evans. And here comes more of that pressure. Little 2-2-1 now being shown. Clark Shaw keeping their head up. And the three-point from the left wing, follow through up and good. You could see his follow through knowing that it was going to go down. And now Clark Shaw has the lead, but Lawrence quickly with the hesitation and pull out for the Knights. And the turnover created by this pressure of Clark Shaw. The three ball is the ultimate neutralizer, and you can see him catch this one, shoot it, left-handed stroke, nice.
Yeah, that three ball is the X factor. He shot that one deep and in rhythm. All the confidence in the world. He knew it was going down before he let it go.
Left wing three-pointer up and good. A quick 6-0 run. 1-3 by number 1, 1-3 by number 2 equals 6 quick points and a 30-second timeout. Back-to-back three-pointers, Coach, by Clark Shaw has gathered a 4-point lead for the Eagles.
And they've went to making shots and stretched out the floor. So let's see if they can continue this. Their defense has started running a guy at Justin Lawrence, running two guys at him, taking the ball and vision away. And then offensively, they're just attacking that three-point line and attacking. They've gotten more aggressive.
Douglas July Jr., when speaking with him earlier this week, he wanted to make someone other than Justin Lawrence beat them. Don't let it get away from him early. He's been able to keep it within striking distance and now has the 4-point lead, and he wants to try to get Scarborough in early foul trouble. And for the Scarborough Knights and Coach Frazier, their lowest scoring output of the season was 51 points. And tonight in this championship game, they have 30. So you can see and tell that Coach Frazier and the guys aren't scoring at the clip they want to, but it's credit to this Clark Shaw game plan by Douglas July Jr.
Yeah, these kids have followed the game plan and played the game plan to a T. So right now it's working in their favor. Let's see if they can finish this half out that way.
Justin Lawrence keeps his head up, pull-up three-pointer up and no good at the top of the key, and there's going to be an over-the-back push.
Looks like I think they call it over the backboard. Actually.
Over the backboard, okay,
yeah, over
okay.
The backboard. I thought it was over the back as well.
The Trail C official called that one. Middle of the floor is where you want to get the ball, and that's exactly where Xavier Powell was able to get it, but not before turning the ball over. Now a steal by Clark Shaw, attacking the rim, a little 1-2 Euro step, good for Josiah Thomas.
Big basket.
Bringing this crowd to its feet. Lawrence trying to split the double team, pull-up jumper up and no good. Johnny on the spot. Blackston Jr. shot up and no good. Being knocked around last touch, out of bounds on Blake Phillips, but this is the largest lead of the game. You can see the wonderful step through Euro step there by Thomas. Baseline out of bounds for Scarborough. Lawrence with a running floater up and no good again, once touched. Last by Clark Shaw.
Yeah, that last play was just a big-time move. There's nothing you could do back there. Justin Lawrence was actually there to defend it. He just made a great move.
And checking in for the Clark Shaw Eagles is going to be B.J. Nobles. And again, that wonderful Euro step through. Coach, you love to see the young man 1-2 step and then be able to finish the great move. Blackston Jr. is going to be called for traveling as he tries to put it on the floor as a big fella. And we had a double whistle, it looks like. And what's going to happen on the double whistle, had a foul before the travel. And looks like we're going to have the foul call before the travel. And that is going to send Coach July Jr. bringing back in Josiah Thomas. And that's going to be 3 fouls against Blake Phillips. Correction, 4 fouls against Blake Phillips.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one.
1:18 remaining. He's got to know that he has 4 to stay on the floor. A steal by Phillips.
Comes up with the steal.
And now Clark Shaw going to run their half-court offense. The heck with the half-court offense, a 3-ball up and no good. That was a heat check, Coach.
Yeah, that was a heat check. He shot that one from the logo, from the bench right there. So Right now it's key. You're up 6. You want to make every possession count. One possession is not going to win or lose the game, but you want to treat it as such. So right now you're in control. Stay that way. We don't have to take bad shots. Let's take the shots that we want.
And we'll have a timeout by Clark Shaw.
Yeah, I think coach is probably looking here to probably run one of his best plays, one of his best sets that the guys know.
And one of the things I mentioned is his experience as a varsity coach, having been the head coach at Murphy, coached at BC Rain, and just been around basketball for a very long time. His passion is evident. He's one of those coaches that also has a chance to coach his son, Douglas July, there on the bench, number 25. He mentioned his son just maybe not being the most athletic, but cerebrally understanding the game and being able to help the teammates on the bench out as well. So it's an extra assistant coach on the bench for you. His son is.
It definitely is. And a lot of times people don't give credit to those guys that are on the bench, those guys that are in practice. But a lot of times those are the guys that actually make you go because they push your starters up and make them rise.
Baseline out of bounds here as 6 were on the floor. Now only 5 before they put the ball in play. And inbounding is Desmond Young. A nice lob pass up to the big fella. It's Xavier Powell. London and Xavier Powell off of that design timeout baseline out of bounds play executed to a T.
Yeah, it's a luxury to have a 6'5" kid. You can just throw it up, let him go grab it, and he goes right back up, pogo stick for the basket. Got fouled on that one. 2 free throws. If they capitalize, they can stretch this lead out a little more.
London and Xavier Powell, call him the paint patroller. He hasn't had a lot of block shots, but he's also made it really difficult for Terrell Milton, the other big for Scarborough, to match up with. And he misses the first free throw. The second free throw opportunity is going to be up, and it is good. You see the great form.
Yeah, he's done his job. He's actually neutralized. He has 5. Milton has 5, so he's done his job.
37-30, largest lead for Clark Shaw, and that is the 5th team foul. So it will send Scarborough, the Knights, to the line, shooting 2. 2 shots here upcoming for the Knights. And Coach, trailing 7, their largest deficit of the game. You really have to take your time and capitalize on at the free throw line.
Yeah, this is a 3-possession game right now. You want to get this under a 3-possession because Coach July is probably going to try to sit on this ball for a little bit. Even if he doesn't get the last shot, he's going to take away a lot of time right here and try to get the shot that he wants.
And first free throw up and no good. And you can see the frustration being shown by Justin Lawrence. Normally cashes in there at the line as he will attempt this second one with 56.7. And we'll see if Coach Frazier instructs his team off of a make or miss to apply full court pressure. Second one up and good by Lawrence. And here comes that full court diamond and 1 pressure. Getting it to the middle, tapped around, loose ball is going to fall into Bumper's hands. Bumpers with the hesitation. He's going to bring it back out to the top. Great ball movement by the Eagles on this possession. Swatted away by Blackston Jr. And the jumper's up and no good. Transition, 30 seconds remaining. The advance, leak out pass missed by Frayson Jr. And they're going to have a jump ball. And Scarborough very fortunate off of that missed layup to be controlling the possession era.
Yeah, that was an open look. They're very fortunate to be up by 6 still. They should be up by 4.
And baseline out of bounds now for Scarborough. And get it into Milton right there. That's big on big. And they're going to get London and Xavier Powell for swiping down. Anytime you show swiping down motion, that's going to be a foul. Big block that you see there on the replay by Blackston Jr. And now Milton, Terrell Milton, going to the line. Great form by this big fella. Cashing in at the line and checking in before the end of the half is Chrysander Lewis.
This is where those free throws are key. Right now it's a 5-point game. Make those free throws.
And
tighten up the game.
Right here before the half, Coach London, Xavier Powell picks up his fourth, and Blackston Jr., he is going to be fouled, and I've talked about it all day long in the earlier game in this one. When you don't box out on the free throws, second chance opportunities are there.
They hurt you. They hurt you. That guy has to be boxed out, and especially a guy like Blackston. Like, he's going to go at an offensive rebound, put himself in the right place, and he's going to help his team.
And his free throw is up and good. And checking in for Clark Shaw will be Bryce Whedon. Bryce Whedon, the 8th grader for Clark Shaw, will get an opportunity to play in this large middle school championship game. Here in the third quarter, the free throw up and good by Blackston Jr. And Clark Shaw looking to score here the last basket of the quarter. Great job by Bumpers handling the pressure. Trapped, throws it to the top of the key, rotated to the right wing. Three-pointer at the buzzer, up and no good. And we will be at the end of the third period with our score. The Clark Shaw Eagles 37, the Scarborough Knights 34. Don't go anywhere, folks. A fantastic finish coming your way.
Did you know that missing 2 days of school per month has a negative effect on student achievement?
And that chronic absenteeism is negatively impacting
1 out of every 10 Alabama students.
Studies show students who are chronically absent are more likely to drop out of school. For every 1 day your child is absent from school, it takes 3 days for them to catch up.
So if I am not sick, make sure I'm at school, because missing school means missing out.
Welcome back here to the large division boys championship game. Don't forget to mark your calendar this coming Monday. Virtual distance instruction day for the kiddos who will be at home. Mark your calendar this coming Monday, February 3rd. No on-campus school, as it will be a virtual distance instruction day. So make sure you mark your calendar this coming Monday. And we're marking up a fantastic finish coming as Matty T. Blunt's pep band striking it up here to begin the fourth quarter. 37-34, Clark Shaw Douglas July Jr. there in picture as his Eagles have soared in the third quarter to take the lead off of back-to-back three-pointers.
Yeah, that three-point ball has been the X factor for Clark Shaw. And we want to see if this fourth quarter they can keep it going. If they can stay hot right here on this line, that may be trouble. That'll cause a little trouble for Scarborough.
And playing with 4 fouls, turnaround jumper up and good by Blake Phillips. And 39-34, our new score. The fouls, team fouls, reset here to begin the fourth quarter. So both teams going to be very aggressive after every possession. Right wing three-pointer up and pure and good by Kieron Williams, the 5'4", 7th grader. And a little change in defense, a little 2-1-2 half-court trap. I like the change in defensive strategy, Coach, because now it gives you something else to look at. And you look at the confidence that Williams shoots this three-pointer with, nothing but the bottom of the net.
Yeah, he stepped into that shot like he knew he wanted to shoot it, and he knew he could make it.
A great skip pass over the top. The bumpers to the top of the key to Warren. Warren's three-pointer up and no good. Long shot, long rebound will belong to the Eagles. As another three-pointer from the top of the key up and no good. And you have to be careful if you're Blake Phillips not to pick up that 5th personal foul. Off of the miss, a little full court pressure being applied by Clark Shaw. And turned over, Milton throws it out of bounds, looking for his teammate Hunter on the right wing.
Yeah, once Justin Lawrence gets it out of his hands, he's going to have to find a way to get back to the basketball because their offense doesn't run smooth without him.
Now Clark Shaw, Desmond Young, getting it to the top of the key to Josiah Thomas, and he's going to be fouled by Hunter. And that will be Hunter's first personal foul. First team foul as well for this quarter. And checking back in for the Scarborough Knights is Bryson Jr. He comes in for Hunter. And Clark Shaw just being very patient, looking for the high-low action. Turnaround jumper up and good by Blake Phillips. Nice soft touch by the big fella. 41-37. Nice lob to Blackston Jr. He kicks it out, and they're going to reset the offense going through Justin Lawrence. Lawrence at the top of the key between his legs. Finds his teammate on the left wing. Three-pointer up and no good. Blackston Jr. has it stripped away. Quickly pushing the ball down the floor is Bumpers. Bumpers has it taken away, stolen by Milton. And there will be a foul called against Clark Shaw. Bumpers, a hectic back and forth pace, Coach.
Yeah, that was a lot of back and forth right there and there. And that was a pick up a foul right there in the backcourt against Milton, who had the ball, who wasn't as much of a threat back there. So he's picked up his third foul. Bumpers has, so let's see how that fares.
Lawrence with the no-look pass goes through Milton's hands. Lawrence with a great vision and idea, just not able to capitalize. And again, a little token pressure being applied by the Knights. And Clark Shaw handles that with no problem. Execution here in the half-court offensive sets is what we're going to look forward to seeing here out of Clark Shaw.
Possessions are key. And there's a turnover right there just on cue.
And it'll be an over and back call after the steal. Not able to capitalize in transition.
Yeah, possessions are key both ways. These last 3.5 minutes, every possession matters. One possession doesn't win or lose a game, but you have to play like it because this is a 4-point game. It could easily be a 6 or 7 right here on this possession, and that could change the dynamics of this fourth quarter.
41-37 our score. The Knights, they love the zone defense, but they're going to have to play man-to-man here, trailing by 4 with 3:10 remaining. And Clark Shaw just don't want to get trapped in the corner, valuing the basketball. Would love to go high-low action with Xavier Powell getting it into Phillips. But in no hurry, Thomas brings it back out.
Yeah, it looks like Coach is going to stall a little bit, shorten up the game, shorten up possessions. Maybe pick up a quick foul right here.
And here it is again. These two teams, the third time that these two teams have met. And it's a turnover. Lawrence leading the attack, goes right into the defender. Shot up and no good, gets his own rebound on the ground. And last touch by Clark Shaw. Coach Frazier asking his team just to settle down a little bit. And Frazier just has to be, Justin Lawrence has to be careful he doesn't get called. A three-point opportunity from the left wing is good by Williams. And it's a 1-point lead. Here comes that full court pressure.
I tell you, sometimes it's not good to take your foot off the gas. It gets your team. That's a jump ball. Goes Scarborough's way. 1-point game, 2 minutes left.
And we told you, folks, don't go anywhere. If you're watching this on the MCPSS Television Network, YouTube, or Facebook, phone a friend, share the fantastic finish that's coming up here in the Mobile County Public Middle School Boys Large Division Championship. Corey LeBounty along with Coach Trent Eager, who is the men's head basketball coach at Bishop State and athletic director. You see that 3-ball go up and good, and getting the fans fired up is Williams.
Great screen for Karan Williams to come to the ball. Wide open look, he knocks it down.
And Frazier, Coach Frazier instructing his team on what to do, but the largest lead of this quarter was 7 by Clark Shaw. And a couple of three-pointers and tenacity on defense has gotten this game back to a 1-point game, folks. So, again, a great finish coming up. As we promised, it was going to be like the boys' small division championship game yesterday. 34-31 was the final yesterday, and here we have a 1-point game with Scarborough trailing 1. Bryson Jr. brings it back out to Justin Lawrence. And Lawrence dribbling through Clark Shaw, 1-2 step up and no good. Milton with the offensive rebound, no good. Put back in by Bryson Jr. Scores at the right time, giving Scarborough a 1-point lead. Clark Shaw, Josiah Thomas trying to throw the bounce pass, and it's going to go out of bounds on Scarborough. Baseline out of bounds here. Execution here on dead ball situations. We'll see if Coach July and his team is able to execute. Stepping in is the big fella. He's going to be having the ball taken away from him is Blake Phillips. Right back to Clark Shaw. Steal by Bumpers. And Bumpers is now going to go to the line, shooting 2.
Yeah, it looks like Clark Shaw has just right now, unfortunately, taken their feet off the gas a little bit. And you don't want to start in a slow motion too quick. No lead is safe. You don't want to stall too soon. And that's what it looks like they did. Now the kids have to pick their energy back up.
Bumpers at the line, shooting the 2 biggest free throws of his Clark Shaw career. And as you can tell by the indication of the crowd, makes the first.
Tie ball game, a minute and 35 left. This is what you came to see.
Second free throw is going to be attempted by Bumpers. No good, and we're knotted up at 42 apiece. 1:30 remaining, and stepping on the sidelines is Scarborough. Coach Frazier asking for a push. Asking for a push.
Minute and a half left. 42-42.
And here we go with a great finish.
The crowd has really gotten into it.
They have. And the energy that these young men must be feeling from this crowd, as Bumpers signaling he wants the high screen by Xavier Powell. Refuses it, pulls up, left-handed jumper up and no good. Thrown away by Blackston, recovered by Blackston. Milton not able to handle it. Loose ball, and we're going to have a timeout.
No, they had a foul back at half. They had a foul back at half court. They had a foul back at half court. I think it was for Blackston.
And 42-42, 2 team fouls apiece on the scoreboard. With 1:05 remaining, 2 team fouls apiece. So 3 fouls before we get into the double bonus. Justin Lawrence, one of the most craftiest guards I've seen this season in middle school basketball with it. Attacking, gets it to the left wing. His teammate with the pull-up jumper up and no good. Rebounded by London and Xavier Powell. Giving ahead to Desmond Young. Desmond Young tries to find his teammate Blake Phillips. And it's going to be secured with a timeout by head coach Frazier. A great and smart timeout with 43.1 seconds to settle down his team and to get what he wants offensively with the basketball.
Right now you should be thinking about nothing but the last shot. That was a great save of possession right there. Getting on the floor, keeping possession. Great timeout by coach. You want to draw something up, make sure to get the ball back in Lawrence's hands so he can get you guys a great shot and win the game.
42-42, both schools standing to their feet, both cheerleading squads yelling at the top of their lungs. I told you moments ago, if you haven't shared this with a friend on YouTube or Facebook or called someone up and said, turn it on to your cable provider to see a fantastic Mobile County Public large division boys championship be the difference, you need to do so because these teams are laying it all on the line. And the fact that Clark Shaw has lost twice this year to Scarborough. This is the one for it all.
Yeah, as we talked about earlier, it is tough to beat a team twice. Very tough to beat a team 3 times. And Scarborough, if they do come out with a win, they had to fight for it to get it today.
Awkward out of bounds situation here, but you get it to Justin Lawrence, and he's looking to go coast to coast. He's going to be fouled. And I mentioned only 2 team fouls by both of these squads. Now make it 3. 3 team fouls called against Clark Shaw, so they'll have 2 more to give before the double bonus situation, and free throws being the difference in championship competition.
That was a foul to give on the team, but not a foul to give from Bumpers, as that's going to be his 5th foul for Clark Shaw.
And Coach July looking to go ahead and figure out what he needs to do and who he wants to sub in. And looks like he's going to bring in B.J. Nobles as Bumpers salute to this young man and the great career he's had as he's crying there on the bench. No need to cry. Keep your head up, young fella. You played a phenomenal game. As Justin Lawrence stepped through, up and no good. Rebounded by Milton, and he's going to be fouled. Going to the line for 2.
Going to the line for 2, and I think that foul was on London Xavier Powell. Let's see if that's his 4th or his 5th. That's his 5th. I thought he had 4 already, so that's going to be key right there.
So you have Link now that has fouled out for Clark Shaw and London Xavier Powell. And you also have on the floor Blake Phillips playing with 4 fouls. So Coach July Jr. is going to go to Mikael Warren checking in for Clark Shaw. And here it is, Terrell Milton, the 6'5", 8th grader, having a chance to give his team the lead.
Yeah, this will be a 1 or 2 point game. So Clark Shaw has a chance to come down, and they still have Blake Phillips in, so he's a big-time scoring threat for this Clark Shaw team.
And Desmond Young will be handling it. July jumping up and down, telling his team to box out here as Terrell Milton, at the line. His 2nd free throw is up and good. 1 point lead here now for Scarborough. The full court 1-2-1-1 press. And without Bumpers being in the game, we'll see if Clark Shaw can handle the pressure. And a timeout by Coach July. Timeout by Coach Douglas July Jr. getting his team and the strategy all worked out.
Well, right now, 22.9 to go. You're up by 1. But Scarborough has 2 fouls to actually give, so they can play a little bit of defense for a little while and foul to get the ball back out and reset their defense. So I'm sure Coach Frazier is probably going to talk about that right here.
The length now that Scarborough does have on the floor, they haven't had any of their top performers foul out. But Coach July Jr. has seen Bumpers go to the bench along with London Xavier Powell. So that's kind of 2 out of his 3-headed monsters. You have Blake Phillips in the game. I've seen him with the soft touch, the turnaround jumpers. We'll see. I still think that free throws, as evident on that other end, are going to be the difference in the game.
Absolutely, absolutely. As we see that this is going to be a nip and tuck tight game either way. Clark Shaw goes down and finishes. They're going to be up by 1. If they miss, Scarborough's going to get the rebound, have a chance to be fouled, go and make 1 or 2 free throws. So it's still going to have a chance right here for Clark Shaw.
Corey LeBounty along with Coach Trent Eager, the head men's basketball coach at Bishop State Community College and athletic director, bringing you all of the large division championship games here today on MCPSS Television Network. Sidelines out of bounds. We'll see what Coach draws up as B.J. Nobles has it in the backcourt with 20 seconds. Man-to-man by Scarborough being played. High screen roll, and there's going to be a turnover. Knocked away. Bryson Jr. with the breakaway. He's going to try to dunk it and misses. He tried to dunk it and missed. And he has a foul. The official, Alec Granderson, has a foul there as Bryson Jr. was trying to dunk it.
Yeah, that's a foul. They had a foul on the play. That's actually not a bad foul, though. That miss, we need those 2 points, so we really want to get that layup. Now you do get a chance to set your defense. 9 seconds to go. Let's see who they get it in the hands of.
Clark Shaw with it as the foul was called against Scarborough, trying to go coast to coast. A deep three-pointer up and no good. Tie ball situation with 0.3 seconds. There's going to be more time put on the clock. Mike Medry is at the table, the official. The possession arrow favors Clark Shaw. It favors Clark Shaw at this time, but we'll see how much time is put on the clock here.
Now this is going to be key. This is going to be critical. How much time they put on the clock. Anything below 0.4 or less, you can't do anything but tip it. Anything above, you've got a chance to catch and get a quick shot or a tip. They don't have any length in, but I don't know if Coach July has any timeouts, but if he does, oh, wow, they're going to put
0.7. I think 0.7 is what they want on the clock. 0.7 instead of 0.3.
That's enough time for a catch and go up, so let's see what happens here.
I think it's going to be 0.7 there instead of 7 seconds. It's going to be 0.7. Coach A.J. Johnson, the assistant girls coach there, controlling that clock, looking for the 0.07.
It's a lot of tension in this game. It's a one-point game, so this is actually what you want. Everybody's standing in the crowd, standing along the baseline, so this is what you want in a championship game.
And Mike Medry over there talking about how much time will be remaining on the clock. I don't think there's 7 seconds for sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's not 7. I wouldn't think there's any more than probably about 1.5, 2 seconds maybe. But whatever it is, it's going to have to be something quick right here. I would definitely think that coach is probably going to look for Blake Phillips right here. He's one of the guys that can get a shot up and off.
It's kind of a free timeout, though, for Coach July because in this delay as they're waiting, Coach July being able to talk to his team, there was a rhythm. Now they're going to let it run down to see if they're able to stop it at the correct time. Maybe 0.7. There it is, exactly at 0.7. 0.7 seconds. And the ball will be baseline out of bounds with no London and Xavier Powell. You're not able to draw. He's making sure he has one timeout remaining. And Coach July is going to see how Scarborough lines up, and I think he's going to call that timeout to see how they're lined up. But I like Blake Phillips here. We'll see exactly what we have. There's your timeout. There's your timeout. Timeout being called by Douglas July Jr. And he kind of, if you showed that play right there with the stack, 4-man stack, Coach, you've kind of showed your hand a little bit to Coach Frazier. Do you come right back with the 4-man stack, or do you run something different?
I mean, you got a great shot out of there. It's kind of hard to go away from it, but at the same token, you just showed your hand. So if I'm Coach Frazier, you're not going to run the same thing against me. You're going to have to do something else. So if I'm Coach July, I'm really thinking that I got to do something else. If he doesn't make any adjustment for that play, and that's going to be, I'd be surprised to see it.
And you can see the 4-man stack right there. Blake Phillips just backing down, looking to it. Tried to throw the lob there to Mikael Warren. And at the end of the day, Coach, all you can ask for is a shot opportunity. And if you're fouled, you go to the line and make free throws. If not, it's a fantastic finish no matter how you look at it. But this will be baseline out of bounds with 0.7 seconds remaining. Scarborough with one foul to give. And here we go. Inbounding the basketball, Josiah Thomas. And it's going to be a 3-ball for the win. Right corner short, no good. And Scarborough, the Knights will be undefeated, finishing up the season 14-0. And what a tremendous finish we were treated to here in this boys large division middle school championship, coming down to the last second shot.
Yeah, this game was worth the price of admission from start to finish.
And we had a packed house. The crowd, the cheerleaders, the fans were stupendous in this game. The electricity was felt. Someone had to come away with the loss, but nothing for Clark Shaw to hold their heads down about, because they gave it all they had. But Another undefeated season. We see perfection from both the Scarborough Knights boys and girls programs here today.
We do, undefeated on both sides. And this game, this boys game, there's nothing, like you said, for Scarborough or either team to hang their hats about. This was a great game. Could have gone any way, either way, this game.
And you just saw some special performances on the floor, as evident as Justin Lawrence, the leader for Scarborough, was able to maintain his composure, stay on the floor with 4 fouls, being able to be the general of Scarborough. But you also really had an unsung hero in Blackston Jr., being in the right place at the right time. And anytime you have Terrell Milton and Blackston Jr. there, that's a heck of a 4-5 punch. And we'll talk to winning undefeated head coach, Coach Frazier. Coach, first and foremost, congratulations on a perfect season.
Oh, thank you so much, man. I'm more proud of my guys and my parents than anything, and my administration.
Coach, you talked about the community service, giving back, letting the kids know what it's all about. You guys gave back to the community today, a tremendous performance, and taking that championship trophy back to off Moffitt Road. Coach, talk about your excitement there as a first-year head coach winning this championship.
I'm beyond excited. Words, I can't put into words. I can't put into words how I feel right now. From working through football season, basketball season, my guys finally got one, and I'm so proud of them. Not about what I've done. It's what my guys did.
Coach, they were down 7 there in the fourth quarter. What do you think? What did you talk to them about that held them to their composure to be able to come back and take this win?
Fight. We've been here before. We've seen this before. Fight. Do not give up. The score is nothing. We at practice playing basketball with each other. Have fun and ball out. That's what I told them.
Well, you did that, Coach. You balled out with a perfect season. Congratulations, matching China Powell's perfect record as well. Perfection there at Scarborough Model Middle School.
Yes, I'm trying to be like Coach Powell. She got them all. I'm trying to catch up to her.
Coach, you got one on the shelf. Congratulations.
I appreciate y'all.
You got it. That's head coach Frazier. And, Coach, you look at it, his team did fight. They were down by 7 there, and Clark Shaw had the lead. Went to a little bit of delay game, which kind of gave the momentum back to Scarborough there in the fourth quarter.
They did. They had the lead. Clark Shaw went up a little bit. They stayed with it, stayed with the fight, and got themselves back in it and made key plays and won it down the stretch.
1-point win here for Scarborough and the Knights. And again, Clark Shaw and Douglas July Jr., a tremendous job coaching his team up the entire season. All 3 of their losses came to the same team. So congratulations to Scarborough. And we'll send it to midcourt for our trophy presentation.
Both schools on a great game played for the large middle school championship. And now we're going to do the trophy presentation for the runner-up for 2025 large middle school. The runner-up is Clark Shaw Magnet. And your 2025 large middle school champion, Scarborough Model Middle School. Congratulations, both teams. Great game.
A clean sweep of the boys and girls championships. Perfect on both sides, and a perfect environment here at Mattie T. Blunt High School. You can see the refurbished floor. We want to thank Principal Jerome Woods, who was presenting today's championship trophies to both of these teams. And we want to thank everyone for tuning in and seeing a tremendously played game here in both our small division on yesterday and our large division today. Coach Trent Eager, it has been a great 2 days of middle school basketball.
It has. I've had the pleasure of watching great basketball and seeing these kids go after it.
No doubt about it. Can't thank you guys enough for tuning in to the MCPSS television network. And it's one for the record books here at Mattie T. Blunt in our small and large division championships. For Coach Trent Eager, I'm Corey LeBounty. We want to thank all of our great crew here today as well for the MCPSS Television Network the last 2 days, bringing you the setup and the fantastic scenes that you saw. We'll see you again next season.